There are 5 doors in this world. Entering one of them randomly will get you an object, but the gender and race of the object are unknown. But no matter how strange the person you choose is, you can only accept it with your eyes closed and not show any disgust or dissatisfaction. Otherwise, you or the country you represent will be punished. There was a young man from the Sakura country who chose a locust woman. He said just one dirty word in front of the locust woman and had his head bitten off on the spot. The Sakura Island country he represented was immediately hit by a locust plague, and the entire Sakura Island country was eaten up by 300 billion locusts overnight. There was also a beautiful man who pretended to be a woman and entered the marriage house, and married a strong barbarian man. But when he was about to take the next step, his male characteristics were discovered, and the angry barbarian immediately went into a violent state and smashed him into a meat paste with brute force. Afterwards, the United States, which he represented, was thrown into a frenzy, and then 500,000 Americans went into a frenzy. The frenzy continued. Someone in a prison suddenly went crazy, causing a prison riot. In a gang's territory, several members of another gang drove recklessly, which was regarded as a provocation by the gang, and a big fight broke out between the two sides. A few idiots in a shopping mall went crazy, smashing and looting. People around them were not sure whether they were punished by the marriage game and fell into a frenzy. When the news reached the country, the people of Yan country watched the images broadcast on the TV screens, which looked like the end of the world. They couldn't help but pray in their hearts, hoping that Su Lin, who represented Yan country, would be a little more helpful and not let the disaster befall Yan country. At this time, Su Lin in the matchmaking room looked at the remaining 4 random rooms, and a series of hidden hints appeared in front of him. Random room number 1, dangerous scene. There is a beast with E+ strength inside, you are no match for it. Random room number 2, special scene. A decayed and aged kiwi fruit tree growing on a 100-meter cliff. The last fruit is condensed on its branches. Eating it will help you. Random room number 3, dangerous scene. There is a treasure chest monster disguised as a green treasure chest inside. It will wait for you to get close and then eat you. Random room number 4, dangerous scene. Sulfuric acid is raining down from the sky. If you don't evacuate in time, the sulfuric acid will corrode your body. Of course, he would choose number 2. Su Lin pushed the door open and went in. The scene he appeared in was the bottom of a cliff. It seemed that he had to climb up to get the fruit. For Su Lin, who already had strength, it was naturally not a problem, and he quickly climbed to the top of the cliff. In front of me was a fruit tree about 2 or 3 meters tall, with peeling bark and rotten branches. The thickest trunk held a bunch of golden grape-like fruits. The fruit tree had reached the end of its life, and it had used up its last remaining strength to produce this fruit. It is half a star higher than the medicine he had injected before. He can just take it directly, and it also has no side effects. But the description of the effect of this bunch of grapes is very strange. After taking it, it can improve the happiness index of your partner. What does this mean? I didn't even finish my words. Could it be something that increases my charm? Does it have a skin care and beauty effect? After all, there is a column for charm in the attribute panel. I guess in the matchmaking game, charm is also a criterion for measuring whether the matchmaking partner is satisfied. That should be what it means. Su Lin picked the bunch of golden grapes easily and tasted one. It was sour and sweet and tasted pretty good, but the effect was not as obvious as the physical enhancement serum. Return to the home cabin and look at the hidden hint in the marriage room. Marriage room, marriage partner information. Name Ellie. Race Rabbitman. Strength D. Characteristics. Lively, curious, likes to play pranks, has a vision for love, and once recognized by her, will be loyal until death. Tip: the gentle and friendly rabbit people have always been peaceful. If you can tolerate features such as rabbit ears and rabbit tails, she may be your best partner. And the rabbit people are very fertile. When Su Lin opened the photo of Ellie, his eyes lit up. Long rabbit ears, fluffy tail, fair skin, and big, bright eyes. She was 163 cm tall, petite but with a murderous look. Bunny ears, bunny tail, bunny ears girl, I'm so good. Her personality is also easy to get along with, all of which are plus points. What else can I say? Just push the door and go in. Su Lin opened the golden door and entered the bridal chamber. The scenery was beautiful, with a bright river winding through the undulating fields. The matchmaking game prompt appears before your eyes. You have entered the matchmaking room, and you can choose to be your partner with the bunny woman Ellie. In an instant, a figure suddenly flashed out from the countryside. The person who appeared in front of me was a man wearing a straw cloak, with green vegetable juice smeared on his face, pretending to be ferocious, like a scarecrow, like evil ghost. As soon as they saw the appearance of their marriage partners, the Yan people who had been expecting something suddenly lost their hope. Another strange race. Brother Su Lin is in trouble. Those bastards were right. They must have cursed this bastard. There was a wailing in the Great Yan territory. Some people prepared in advance and wrote their last words, contacted the crematorium, and arranged a one-stop service for themselves. Some people rushed downstairs at this moment, took their families, and drove back to their hometown overnight to prepare for refuge. The punishment of the marriage game was unpredictable, and their idea was simple. Stay away from big cities and densely populated areas, and you should be able to save your life by chance. Anyway, everyone is in a very sad mood at the moment. Su Lin doesn't expect a successful marriage, but only hopes that the targeted punishment of the game can be slightly reduced, preferably not too heavy. In the marriage room, the rabbit girl named Ellie was still pretending to be a ghost to scare him, but seeing his indifferent and unmoved look, it did not achieve the expected effect. Ellie lowered her voice and deliberately pretended to be hoarse and low. "Oh, what fresh flesh and blood! I'm sure you must taste delicious." After saying that, she extended her pink tongue to lick her lips, but accidentally licked the green juice dripping down her face, which made her look bitter. This action completely frightened all the viewers watching Su Lin's channel. "My goodness, are you so cruel?" The locust girl from Sakura Country and the barbarian from Beautiful Country at least asked the other party whether they wanted to be their partner in the first sentence. But you didn't even ask, and the first sentence you said was that you wanted to eat Su Lin. In your ethnic culture, is the marriage partner meant to be eaten? How barbaric, so brutal. As described, the Bunnaman Ellie was a girl who liked to play pranks. This scene not only did not scare Su Lin, but made him laugh instead. "What are you laughing at?" Ellie groaned, baring her teeth and claws, and her two little hands, which were also covered with green juice, were about to grab Su Lin. "If you dare to laugh at me again, believe it or not, I will tear your mouth apart." Hearing these words, the audience in front of the screen broke into a cold sweat for Su Lin. The tone sounded extremely dangerous at first, but to Su Lin's ears, it sounded a bit cute. In the next scene, Su Lin did something that shocked countless people. He actually reached out and rubbed Ellie's little head, his eyes calm and his tone gentle. "Okay, stop messing around." The tone was like coaxing a child. Ellie from the Bunny clan was stunned on the spot. The audience from Yan Country who witnessed this scene were also shocked. "Su Lin, hey, he is courting death. Big brother, if you don't want to live, don't let us get hurt. If you die, Yan Country will be hit by a natural disaster. This kid looks quite normal. How could he do such a stupid thing? I had high hopes for him, but I didn't expect him to be so mentally abnormal. Yan Country people are like this. I've said it before, if it were our high-quality male players from South Korea, they would never make such a low-level mistake. This girl boy is so disgusting. He's so ordinary, yet so confident." The people of Yan were so desperate that they had no mood to refute the ridicule from the Koreans and the fairies. It's obvious that this marriage partner is not a good person. Even if you compromise and kneel down to beg for mercy, we won't say anything to you. As long as you can save your life and prevent Yan Country from being punished, you Su Lin will be our hero, but you are courting death like this. You are simply in a hurry to reincarnate, as if you are taking revenge on society. A sigh. Recalling the inner court of Da Yan, inform the people below to make protective preparations, and be quick. Da Yan Lord rubbed his swollen temples and felt dizzy. Not long ago, he arranged an office to take care of Su Lin's parents and family. Now, it seems that it was all in vain. The second Flame Lord nodded and was about to issue an order, but was suddenly stopped by the third Flame Lord. "Wait, look, the situation has taken a turn for the better." Upon hearing this, the two Fire Lords immediately looked towards the live broadcast screen. In the picture, there is a close-up of Ellie's expression at the moment. Her eyes were wide open, and she was at a loss. Amidst the panic, there was actually a hint of shyness. "What's going on?" The first and second Flame Lords were stunned. Immediately following, Su Lin rubbed Ellie's pretty face, and some green vegetable juice got on his hands. "Look at you, little rabbit, your face is so dirty." Such an intimate gesture made Ellie feel uneasy. His hands hung limply, pinching the corner of his clothes, his feet trembled slightly, and he scratched the dirt restlessly on the ground. She acted like a timid little woman. "Little rabbit." Upon hearing this, the friends from Yan Country were all confused. Some sharp-eyed viewers noticed the rabbit, ears vaguely visible under the straw cloak. It was fluffy, snow-white, and had a vegetable leaf on it. At Su Lin's touch, it stood up suddenly, lifting up the straw on its head. "A female rabbit man, Ellie." Recalling the clues in the marriage game, the audience suddenly understood. It really is a little rabbit. Here, eat some grapes. Su Lin picked a grape and put it to Ellie's mouth. The grains are full and round, golden like gems. Thank you, With a hint of reserve, Ellie slightly opened her rosy little mouth, leaving a little water stain between Su Lin's fingers. Wow, it's delicious. Surprise appeared in those clear eyes. He seemed to be still unsatisfied, licking his lips with an intoxicated look. Do you want more? Su Lin shook the grapes in his hand. I thought is the purpose of improving the partner's happiness index, just to feed the partner and make her happy. I found the correct way to use it accidentally. Yes, Ellie nodded. I want more. She has a simple mind. If she likes something, she likes it. If she wants to eat something, she wants to eat it. She doesn't understand the twists and turns. If you want to eat, wash your face first. Su Lin said, being sloppy and unhygienic is not a good habit. Then I'll go wash it now. Ellie skipped to the lakeside and squatted down to wash. From behind, the little tail hanging behind her looks like a small ball of fluff from a distance. The slight swaying meant that she was in a very happy mood at the moment. I'm done. Ellie stood up and looked back at Su Lin. He also took off his straw cloak. What came into view was an extremely charming and beautiful girl. She has clear eyebrows and eyes, a fair and delicate face, short white hair that reaches her ears, and two rabbit ears, one on the left and one on the right, that seem to sparkle in the sun with water stains. She looks most charming when she smiles, revealing two dimples on her cheeks. When she turns around and smiles, she is so charming, as if she was carefully carved by the creator. All the audience in front of the screen were stunned by the wonderful scene. Bunny, 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 bunny. Upstairs, you're driving a tractor. What are you doing? Bunny-eared girl, pretty girl. Alla, a baby-faced giant. It's like she came out of an anime. Who are you, beautiful lady? What happened? What the hell, what the hell? The people of Yan were so shocked that they didn't know how to express themselves, and the screen was full of question marks and exclamation marks. People in other countries who were watching were also dumbfounded and stunned. Why, what? This stinky boy from Yan country is so lucky that he can match such a beautiful girl. There is something fishy going on. Why do people in UA marry locusts? It's the same in the United States. Not only are the targets ugly and barbaric, but they even get the gender wrong. Hey, my friends from Vietnam and the United States, aren't there disasters happening in your countries? Why are you still in the mood to watch live broadcasts? What do you know about life? We are living life to the fullest. As you Orientals say, we should enjoy life while we can. I admire this mentality. Once Ellie's true appearance was revealed, the people of Vietnam and the United States were so angry that their teeth were almost broken. This is so unreasonable. How are we worse than the kids from Yan country? Shouldn't goddess luck be on our side? Why is it that the chosen ones in our country are always matched with freaks? But this guy named Su Lin is so lucky. There is no harm without comparison. The people of Vietnam and the United States began to comfort each other and keep each other warm. But there is one thing they overlooked. If the fool Ruan Yuzu, or the LGBT Frida, really encountered a situation like Su Lin, I'm afraid that at first sight, he would be frightened by the rabbit Ellie's prank and do something to anger her. The final outcome is still death. You can't run away. Chapter 12. One person's success brings prosperity to the whole family. In the picture, the two sat by the lake. Ellie snuggled in Su Lin's arms and ate the grapes that Su Lin fed her. In a short period of time, the relationship between the two progressed rapidly, feeding the audience in front of the screen a lot of dog food. Rabbit Ellie has great longing for love, something she has never experienced before. I am looking forward to finding my destined husband, whether he can get along with me in terms of personality, and whether he can tolerate my little mischief. That's why I deliberately dressed up as a monster to test it out. Fortunately, she was very satisfied with the result. Su Lin is not only handsome, but also gentle, considerate, and patient with herself. In the eyes of a lover, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The more I look at him, the more I feel that he suits my heart. There is one grape left, you can have it. Su Lin looked at Ellie with eyes full of doting. The hidden hint provided by the cheat code shows her attributes. Name Ellie. Race Rabbitman. Level D. Psychic power 280. Talent agile as a rabbit D. Dexterity E+. Skills Bunny War Dance, green LV3 Wave Kick, green LV3. Combat power assessment, 2 stars. His psychic power is as high as 280, which is more than 9 times stronger than Su Lin's pitiful 30 points of psychic power. Agile as a rabbit D is the exclusive talent of the rabbit people, a natural talent for speed. Another talent is dexterity, E+. As the name suggests, Rabbit Ellie is very good at making handicrafts and DIY. In terms of skills, one is the offensive war dance, and the other is the explosive attack kicking skill. I guess he could easily kill Su Lin with just one kick. Let's eat together. Rabbit Ellie took the last grape and put it in her mouth. Then a sweet kiss was given. Su Lin's attention was just now focused on observing Ellie's white and tender small feet. I didn't expect her to suddenly attack. My mouth suddenly became salivating with the sweetness of grapes and spreading across my taste buds. It's a little strange and tender, but it has a unique flavor and is of top quality for consumption. Yan Country player Su Lin is holding a wedding ceremony with the Bunnaman Ellie. The following scene is not suitable for playback, and the system automatically blocks it. Su Lin's live broadcast screen suddenly went black, and even the sound was automatically blocked. But viewers can still post comments and discuss on the Yan Gyu channel. I still want to watch the show that's been saved, but it's gone now. The following is a paid program. If you want to continue watching, please recharge in time. I want to know how many cloud-piercing arrows I need to kill before I can continue watching. Stupid, there's no gift-giving feature in the matchmaking game livestream. I'm so envious, why can't that person be me? The person above, I'll teach you a method. Immigrating to Vietnam or the United States immediately, those two countries will quickly reselect players to participate in the competition. Do you think I'm stupid? It looks like brother Su Lin will be married soon, and I'm still waiting for the reward. Matchmaking game rewards. This is what everyone is looking forward to. The severity of the punishment has been witnessed by everyone in the world. What will the rewards be? Money and wealth, or resources needed for civilization. The people of Yan are looking forward to it. Gradually, they found that the wedding ceremony was too long. 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. Even after 3 hours, the Yan Gyu live broadcast channel was still dark and could not be displayed. All viewers, they naturally knew the rituals described in the marriage game and what they meant. It's nothing more than the combined efforts of two people for the great cause of the reproduction and development of civilization. Donate your strength, but this length of time is really a bit scary, brother. Brother Su won't die of exhaustion, right? There is no such thing as spoiled land, only cows that die of exhaustion. Young people must exercise moderation. Brother Su, hold on. Don't let yourself be defeated by the evil orcs. I believe you can do it. Tusk tilde, that's nothing. I can usually last 24 hours. Who doesn't know how to brag? If you have the guts, start a live broadcast. If you can last for half an hour, I'll chop off my head for you. At this time, Su Lin's wedding room. So this is what it means to improve your partner's happiness index. Holding Ellie, who had fallen asleep in his arms, Su Lin felt happy and extremely relaxed. The bunch of grapes picked from the fruit tree in room 2 will not enhance your psychic powers after consumption, but the improvement in energy is extremely significant. Men who eat it will feel full of energy. Women who eat it can benefit from it by nourishing and beautifying their skin. There are obvious effects on Su Lin and AI Lee. The wonders here are too good to be told to outsiders. He looked down at Ellie in his arms. The corners of his mouth were slightly raised, as if he was having a sweet dream. Especially between her eyebrows, there is a golden mark. It seemed to be engraved from the golden pattern between Su Lin's eyebrows. It means that their wedding ceremony was a complete success, and Ellie became Su Lin's close partner. And just at this moment, a hint came from the matchmaking game. When the golden wind and jade do meet, it is better than countless things in the world. Congratulations to Yan Country player Su Lin for successfully completing the marriage ceremony with the rabbit man woman Ellie. You have received the following rewards. Talent Speed Talent D, Skill. Wave/Green, Spiritual Essence Pill D x10, Charm +10. In terms of rewards, it includes the exclusive talent skills of the rabbit Ellie, D-level Speed Talent, and a variant of the attack skill Wave/. It's a pity that I didn't get the talent of Dexterity. This should be an extra talent that Ellie herself has, and it doesn't seem to be included in the reward range. Let's look at the information about Lingyuan Dan. Name Lingyuan Pill. Type Pill. Grade D. Quality Green Down Arrow. Stars. Features Oral enhances spiritual power. Hidden tip. The higher the strength level, the smaller the effect of taking it. The spiritual energy provided by taking it at level D+ is negligible. Nice one. 10 spiritual essence pills can at least allow me to upgrade from E to D. Coupled with the innate skills of the Bunnymen, it is enough to easily kill some low-level monsters. Su Lin's expression brightened up. He looked down at Ellie in his arms, full of love. Looking around, I found a big tree by the lake and gently placed Ellie on the soft grass, leaning her against the tree. He took off his coat and used it as a blanket to cover her. Su Lin originally wanted to carry her back to the bed in the wooden cabin at home. But it is not certain whether one can still enter the Golden Room after leaving the Golden Door after the marriage is successful. After all, there are many vegetables, fruits and melons planted in the farmland here. The bread and mineral water are used up, and the novice protection period has ended. The food here can last for a while. At this time, the live broadcast channel of Yan Country finally restored the picture. Everyone in the world also heard the broadcast of the marriage game and Su Lin's personal reward. Immediately following, the global broadcast sounded again. This time, it is the matchmaking game's reward to the Yan State civilization. So, P.S. Happy Dragon Boat Festival, my friends Tilda. Have you eaten rice dumplings? Do you like sweet or meat dumplings? Chapter 13, Setting the Threshold. Good and evil will be rewarded, and heaven will not forgive. As soon as this report came out, the whole world was in an uproar. The people of Yan, in particular, were cheering and looking forward to it with great anticipation. Great Su's beer. Brother Su, you are my god. Is this even possible? But no matter what, Su Shen knew beer is the right choice. Damn it, I've already written my will. What a relief. What are you guys, Dayan, so proud of? It's just that you happen to be lucky. Don't be so lucky next time. Hey, I just had a great idea. When rewards are given out, we will receive them as usual. When we see trouble, we will immediately move them to other countries. Not only will we not be punished, but we can also take advantage of them. You are such a clever little ghost. This way you don't have to worry about anything. It's better not to go to the United States for now. You can go to Australia and Australia. If it's North Australia, it will be even better. It's too difficult to make a living in Ranuju. How about Myanguo? A friend of mine told me that I can easily make tens of thousands of yuan a month there. Speechless, JPG, with your IQ, you're probably only good enough to tear up newspapers to pass the time. I'm curious, what kind of idiot would believe that you can make money in that damn place called Mayan Country? Not taking your kidneys is just a kindness. What? How could there be such a shameless person in this world? The people of Yan were angry. So cheap. The two sides started a confrontation, but they underestimated the other side's shamelessness. They used all kinds of sarcasm, innuendos, and made people gnashing their teeth in hatred. However, the next scene left the villains dumbfounded. Just before civilization rewards are distributed, there was an additional prompt in front of Su Lin. Player Su Lin, you can set the threshold for issuing marriage rewards. If you skip this step, the rewards will be given to all citizens of Yan Nation by default. Although Su Lin didn't know the situation outside, he also didn't know that countless people were watching his live broadcast at this moment. The two sides quarreled. However, when he received the notification from the matchmaking game that the marriage reward was about to be issued, he was indeed a little conflicted. There are thorns hidden beneath the branches and leaves of flowers, so how can we be sure that people's hearts are free of poison? Human nature is unpredictable. There are good and bad, and it is difficult to distinguish with the naked eye. Su Lin is a man who hates evil as much as his enemy. As for kind people, he naturally hopes that they will be well. Even in real life, Su Lin's life was not easy. He had experienced a lot of suffering since childhood and witnessed the evil hearts of many people. I thought my heart had been worn down into hard stone, becoming indifferent and cold. However, but he just couldn't bear the sufferings of this world. Now the opportunity to choose is finally here. Taking this opportunity, Su Lin naturally had to set the conditions for the marriage reward carefully. Then, Su Lin fiddled with the light screen panel in front of him, set thresholds one by one. To describe it in one sentence, the general idea is, good will be rewarded with good, and evil will be punished with evil. Setting successful. Because the Yan Country player, Su Lin, got married, the whole world celebrates, and now the Yanhuang civilization is issuing marriage rewards. All citizens of the Yanhuang civilization gain health +5, agility +2, charm +1. Those who do not meet the threshold set by the player, Su Lin, will not be rewarded. After seeing the entry information, the people of Dayan were stunned for a few seconds. Immediately following, thunderous cheers. It's so refreshing. Beautiful, this is the right thing to do. We can't let those bastards take advantage of us for nothing. My cold is healed. Damn it, I just felt blurry in front of my eyes, and I thought I was going blind. It turns out that my vision has recovered. I feel dizzy when wearing glasses with a degree of more than 400. I'm a worker on the assembly line. I suddenly felt like I was working faster just now. It should be the effect of agility +2. Work hard and try to buy my boss a new car this year. Great news, I'm erect. Some are happy, some are sad. Those who did not receive the marriage reward were angry and cursed. Damn it, this bastard is too cunning. He even set up a series of threshold restrictions. You coward, I must kill you. Hey, I'm also from Dayan, okay? Why don't you give it to me? Don't talk about you. My whole family has nothing. It's just that the wages of migrant workers have been in arrears for several years. What's the big deal? Public opinion was instantly polarized. What is worrying is not the scarcity, but the inequality. What is worrying is not the poverty, but the inequality. The indignant, evil people were furious and kept attacking and cursing. Cursed Su Lin viciously. There was even a big boss who threatened to take revenge on Su Lin's family. You, Su Lin, are in the marriage game. I can't do anything to you, but sooner or later you will fail and die in the ditch. I have learned all about your family situation. You are nothing but stinky rats in the sewer. I can kill you with just a flick of my finger. In a certain city, in a luxurious villa, Boss Sun was sitting on the sofa smoking an expensive cigar. His face was full of flesh, and it trembled as he puffed out smoke. In the spacious hall, there stood 2 rows of tattooed muscular men, all of whom were his henchmen and thugs. However, just as Boss Sun was planning his revenge, the door of the villa burst open. A team of well-armored warriors easily subdued everyone present in a matter of seconds. You guys, what is this? Boss Sun was so scared that his cigar fell on his pants, burning a hole in it. It has been found that you have been suspected of committing crimes for many years, and the evidence is irrefutable. If you don't want to suffer, you'd better obey. The man in the lead had a resolute face and looked righteous. Boss Sun, who had been so arrogant and free for many years, met his end at this moment. He was so scared that he lost all his strength and fell to the ground like a wild dog. In fact, as early as the moment Su Lin became a player, Dayan had already prepared to protect his family. Now the Yanhuang civilization has received a marriage reward, which further proves Su Lin's value. As soon as Boss Sun showed up, he was immediately exposed. When the local people heard the news, they all applauded. It can be considered as retribution in this life. In addition, Dayan launched a thunder operation, listing those who did not receive marriage rewards as key observation targets. After all, matchmaking games, the supreme existence of this great god civilization will not make mistakes. Following this line of investigation, we actually found quite a few people who had escaped the net, and they were all brought to justice. The people are happy, and the scene is very good. In addition, it calmed the restless crowd. It is nothing more than advising them to do good deeds and mend their ways. Try to get a spot when Su Lin gets married next time, and the rewards for civilized marriages are distributed. Say all the good words. The moral standard has always been established. Whether they listen or not is their own business. We are all adults, and we know what is right and what is wrong. It is just like the old saying, good deeds will be rewarded in the end, and the law of heaven will prevail. If you don't believe it, look up and see that heaven will spare no one. P.S. I may have violated the law. Shenhe actually secretly deleted and modified my chapters and paragraphs. If I hadn't seen that the number of words was less, I would not have noticed it. If you find some parts that don't make sense or don't connect the text while reading the book, please remind me so that I can make the changes in time. Thank you. In addition, thank you Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, for the reward of 100 reading coins. Chapter 14. The clever and skillful housekeeper is online. The wind is gentle and the air is fresh. By the lake, under the big tree, the sleeping girl accidentally turned over and wanted to snuggle up to the warm chest, but found nothing. Under the tall yet small nose is a cute little mouth with a light pink hue. Her eyelashes trembled slightly, showing her uneasiness, and she woke up from the shadow under the emerald green leaves. Su Lin. Without her lover by her side, Ellie felt lost and panicked. Here it is. Su Lin's voice sounded from behind. Ellie stood up and pounced towards Su Lin. The white and tender arms tightly locked Su Lin's neck, and the well-proportioned and strong legs wrapped around his waist. The whole person was hanging on Su Lin, like a lovely jade foot carved out of white jade, slightly curled up. Where have you been? I thought you didn't want me anymore. Wu Tilda. The little head was buried in Su Lin's arms, her voice choked with sobs, and tears welled up in her eyes. Silly girl, what are you thinking about? Su Lin patted her back gently. My AI Li is so cute, how could I bear to give you up? But before I explain to you, can you please let go? I'm a little out of breath. After all, the little rabbit has D-level strength and is much stronger than Su Lin. Su Lin, who only has E-level strength, is a little overwhelmed by his small body. Hearing this, Ellie shamelessly loosened her arms and fell off Su Lin. The fluffy rabbit ears were shaking, as if drawing circles in the air. Just now I saw you fell asleep, and I didn't want to disturb you, so I picked some vegetables. After all, we will live together in the future, and we can't live without food. I see. Ellie noticed that she was still wearing Su Lin's coat. Thinking of how considerate and gentle he was, she felt as sweet as if she had eaten honey. Then I'll help you. Ellie is a person of action, and she does what she says. Running to the fields, skipping and harvesting fruits and vegetables. In the sunshine, her figure is so lively and full of energy, like a dancing butterfly. What a good girl, she is sensible and obedient. I am so lucky to marry her. Especially when he asked Su Shen, do you not want me anymore? He sounded so pitiful and aggrieved that my heart melted when I heard it. I don't know why, but I suddenly feel that Su Shen seems even more handsome. +1, same feeling. Charm, it's the charm value. God Su added a full 10 points of charm. Oh my God Su is already handsome enough. If he continues to be more handsome, there will be no way for us to survive. Cry. Thank God Su, praise God Su, for curing my erectile dysfunction. Fuck, brother upstairs, you've been working on this for almost the entire night, and now almost everyone in the country knows about your problem. Like the real world, even though it was late at night. The people of Yan State are still in high spirits. There are so many and so big melons tonight that you can't finish eating them all. Even the most indifferent person will be extremely excited at this moment. Hot searches on the internet appeared one after another, and they were basically all about Su Lin. Congratulations to God Su on his happy marriage, and may our Yanwang civilization prosper. It started with a kiss, a few things that the rabbit Ellie and God Su have to say. Thunder Operation, another major evil gang has been captured. Chinese letter, ex-Chinese letter, Chinese letter. Many major events were announced. Several critically ill patients recovered, and everyone in Yanwang was like a dragon. The family of God Su has been received according to the highest standards. Because of Su Lin's divine hand, he conquered the rabbit Ellie and turned crisis into opportunity, so he was respected as God Su by the people of Yan. Marriage space. Ellie quickly harvested all the vegetables, fruits, and melons. They were also carefully tied up with handmade hemp ropes and arranged neatly. It happened so fast that even Su Lin didn't have time to intervene. Done. Ellie clapped her hands, put her hands on her slender waist with pride, and raised her pretty face as if she was asking me to praise her quickly. That's amazing. My Ellie is the best. Su Lin's generous praise made her eyes curved into crescents. A pair of moist and tender feet stomped on the ground at a fast frequency. It seemed to be an outward expression of Ellie's extreme happiness. Want to move back home? Ellie pointed to the door of the bridal chamber that shone with golden light. Su Lin nodded. The two of them worked together and quickly moved the ingredients to the cabin kitchen. It is piled up like a small mountain and arranged neatly. You can still enter the marriage room. Su Lin let out a light exclamation. Then I got the game prompt. You can enter the marriage room at will before the next refresh. The same is true for random rooms. However, there is a prerequisite. When the random room is determined to have nothing of value, it will be automatically closed. This is very nice. Don't forget, there is a clean lake in Ellie's wedding room, which is full of drinkable water. Add to that the harvested vegetables, fruits, and melons, and it will be enough to live for a long time once the novice period is over. No wonder before entering the game, players are strongly advised to have a marriage partner. This can greatly help players with weak individual strength to overcome the crisis in the early stages of development. Life safety is guaranteed, even if there is no food or water in the matching marriage room. As long as you can form a partner, go to a random room to kill monsters and fight in the wild, you can always find a glimmer of hope. The homestead is a rough gray in quality. There are only the most basic facilities, not even a water tank or basin. Just when Su Lin was having a headache over the small problem of getting and storing water. Ellie patted the two big white rabbits and said confidently, "Leave it to me." Then, take Su Lin back to the wedding room. Standing by the lake, in front of the big tree that had been asleep not long ago. Ellie's right foot was tapping the ground at a very high frequency. Laugh. I didn't even see how she made her move. The tree in front of me, which was so thick that it took 6 or 7 adults to hug it, was broken from the bottom. Drink tilde. With a few kicks, the tree trunk was split into sections. It's totally effortless. Su-Lin, Sigma, De. All viewers, some sign. De Japanese letter, Japanese letter. This is an attack skill, wave kick. But the more shocking thing is yet to come. Ellie's pretty face was serious, as if she was analyzing something. Then I came up with an idea and started making it myself on the spot. Hollow out a tree section more than 1 meter long and make a simple wooden water tank. The big one has a wooden bathtub, wardrobe, bed. Small ones like toothbrushes, basins, benches. That's enough. Su-Lin hurriedly stopped him, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. If you keep doing this, our house won't be able to accommodate it. Well, all right. Ellie seemed a little unsatisfied, but she listened to Su-Lin very much. I almost forgot that you have the gift of dexterity. Su-Lin touched Ellie's rabbit ears. They were soft and felt great. He liked them very much. My Ellie is really a clever and capable housekeeper. Su-Lin became playful. Use both hands. Gently grab the rabbit's ears. Having a lot of fun. Only, there seemed to be something wrong with little Ellie's expression. Red like a ripe apple. Breathing a faint orchid scent. Could it be that? Rabbit ears are her weakness. Chapter 15. Ellie is promoted to D-level, the difference in talent and skills. With Ellie's hands-on help, the simple, dilapidated cottage was given a brand new look. Curtains made of leaves, blooming flowers in wooden pots, and various wooden furniture and daily necessities. There were also a few big, fat fish in the water tank, which Ellie had caught from the lake. They are all carefully decorated, making the cabins look like castles inhabited by elves. The male compatriots who watched this scene were extremely envious. No comparison, no harm. Nowadays, young fairies do nothing but ask for this and that all day long. It's really a headache for people. You also said she was a fairy, but you still don't understand her nature. You can't say that. After all, she's a girl, it's okay for her to be a little delicate. We're men, it's okay for us to be a little tired, right? The warm man is at the back plus 38. Warm man, get out of here plus 10086. You guys are really going too far. How can you say that about someone? Even as a man, I can't stand it. Grasshopper is so mean, it makes me sick. Little fairy upstairs, your cross-dressing skills are too low. Did you accidentally expose your identity? In the homeland, Su-Lin ate the grilled fish that Ellie had carefully prepared and garnished it with some vegetables. It was crispy on the outside and tender on the inside, and delicious. Dexterity is a talent that Ellie has personally mastered. Although it is only at level E+, its level will increase as Ellie becomes more proficient. Not only is she proficient in handicrafts, but her cooking skills also satisfy Su-Lin's taste buds. The girl who comes out of the living room and walks into the kitchen is simply a treasure girl. After eating and drinking, Ellie took the initiative to clean up the dishes. While washing dishes in the kitchen and humming a song, Leal and Ju's cute and sensible appearance made Su-Lin feel more relaxed than ever before. It's time to improve our strength. Su-Lin took out a white jade bottle, which contained 10 Lingyuan pills rewarded by the system. He took one to taste the freshness, and it melted in his mouth, and the pure energy fed back to Su-Lin. Ding, your strength level has been raised to E. Taking another look at the attribute panel, the psychic energy value has reached 60 points. Eat the second one. Ding, your strength level has been raised to E+. Psychic energy value is 90, E+ level peak. Ding, your strength level has been raised to D level. Maybe it was because of the breakthrough, so only 10 spiritual energy was added, making it exactly 100. Taking the fourth Lingyuan pill only increased the spiritual energy by 20 points, and the effect was weakened. Open the properties panel. Su-Lin exclaimed softly. Player Su-Lin. Subordinate, Yanhuang Civilization, Yan State. Level D. Psychic Power 120. Talent, Speed Talent D. Skill Wave/Green LV1. Charm 18. Combat Power Assessment. With his current strength, he is able to fully utilize his D-level speed talent. Even the skill Wave/ that had been dimmed before now lit up green, indicating that it could be used. What good things are you eating behind my back? Ellie ran and jumped to the living room, sniffed with her delicate little nose, and her 2 little hands were wet. Obviously, she had just finished washing the dishes. I was just about to call you, little greedy boy. Su-Lin gently scratched her nose and wiped Ellie's wet little hands with his clothes. You got promoted to D class. There was a glimmer of surprise in Ellie's eyes. Su Lin nodded and pointed to the small jade bottle on the table. There are 6 Ling Yuan pills left, all for you to eat. The green down arrow quality Ling Yuan, Dan, only increases the D level by 20 spiritual energy points. 6 quantity x 20 psychic power equals 120. Even if Su Lin ate it all, he couldn't reach level D. Ellie's psychic power is 280, and after eating it, she can reach D level. And the little rabbit's combat experience is much stronger than that of the novice Su Lin. Good steel should be used on the blade. What's more, Su Lin can't eat alone, so when he comes across something good, he naturally wants to share it with the sensible little Ellie. Can I eat them all? Ellie quickly declined and was about to say something, but Su Lin kissed her on the mouth. Just taste it. Su Lin took out a Ling Yuan pill and forcefully put it into Ellie's mouth. Obedient. Ahem. Good boy, you are so good. Eat another one. MMMs. What a good and well-behaved child. He ate up all the remaining breath. No, it's too much. I can't eat it. At this time, Ellie's mouth was puffed up, and her big watery eyes looked at Su Lin innocently. Her face was rosy, and she was very cute. Fortunately, the Ling Yuan pill melts in the mouth. The next second, it all turns into pure energy and enters the stomach, solving Ellie's embarrassment. Ding, your marriage partner, the rabbit man Ellie. The strength level has been upgraded to D. The system prompt sounded. Looking at Ellie's psychic energy value, it has been successfully increased to 400 points. The rabbit people's exclusive talent, as agile as a rabbit, also rose from D level to D level. Su Lin, you are so nice to me. Ellie snuggled in Su Lin's arms, looking contented and sweet. What do you want to call me? Su Lin pinched her rabbit ears. Old husband Tilda. This was the words that Su Lin taught her during their wedding ceremony. Somehow, after Ellie said this word, 2 red clouds appeared on her cheeks, her tongue circled her lips, and she felt very happy. The people who were watching Yan Guo's live broadcast were once again fed a lot of dog food. Then, Su Lin also asked questions about talents and skills. Ellie's response was that talent is an innate ability. Some people are born with talents in fighting, painting, singing, etc. For example, Ellie's dexterity. Talent is only at level E+ at the moment, but if you train it in this direction, you can fully improve the level of this talent. Then there are the more special, race-specific talents. For example, the rabbitmen's agile as a rabbit is linked to their strength level, and they will be promoted to a higher level as they become stronger. As for the skill level, it needs to be improved through practice. If you reach the highest level, your skills may transform into higher quality. At this point, Ellie sighed, but the chance is too low. Only a gifted combat genius might be able to do it. The rabbit's ears were drooping, and its tone was somewhat self-pitying. Su Lin hugged her tightly and rubbed her little head. Ellie is so smart, she will definitely be able to do it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. I'll take care of everything. Ellie's heart felt like it was filled with a bottle of honey. She had a smile on her face, and her pretty face was glowing. Hubby, you are so nice. From childhood to adulthood, only my parents have been so nice to me. You can also think of me as your dad. Ellie, small head, big question mark. Before they knew it, the 2 of them came to the bedroom, using this opportunity to express the sweetness in their hearts. Yan Country player Su Lin is holding a wedding ceremony with the Bunham and Ellie. The following scene is not suitable for playback, and the system automatically blocks it. The live broadcast screen suddenly went dark. Yan people, no way again. Didn't it just last 5 hours? Are you coming now? I can only sigh that Mr. Su is indeed a man of iron. He is so awesome. P.S. Modify the settings of talent skills in Chapter 12 to make the values more specific. Regarding updates, they are usually in the evening. I will try to adjust the time in the future and strive to update earlier so that everyone can see it earlier. Chapter 16. The first country destroyed by the marriage game. Real world. The time has come to 10 o'clock in the morning. Also, because Su Lin was performing a ceremony with his partner, the live broadcast room was closed. The people of Yan, who were still unsatisfied, could only wait and see the situation of players in other countries. I'm going to sleep first. I've been up all day and all night just watching Su Shen's live broadcast. I really can't take it anymore. You're still like this even with the health +5 bonus. You're really weak, buddy. When you reach middle age, you have no choice but to soak wolfberries in a thermos. Squinting smile. Haha, Su Lin just found a partner and indulged himself in the land of tenderness. Sooner or later, he will die in a woman's belly. As soon as I saw his ugly appearance, I knew he was a loser who was unhappy with his life and had no future at all. From fan to hater, I don't have a good impression of Su Lin at all now, and what about Su Shen? He is just a jerk. When the Yan people heard the ridicule behind them, they immediately stopped feeling sleepy. Hey, the losers are breaking through. And those fans who turned haters, are they angry because you didn't do anything and didn't get any marriage rewards? Definitely. The threshold set by God Su seems very high, but as long as you don't do bad things, you can basically get it. If we judge by deeds but not by heart, there is no saint if we judge by heart. For example, I have a head full of garbage and have fantasized about some anti-human things, but in reality I am still submissive and abide by my duties, so I can still get civilization rewards. Speaking of locusts, what's the situation in UA State? Do you have any big news to share? Searching for news online, I actually found a lot of the latest news from UA State. It turned out that as early as last night, the United States sent an aid team to Vietnam for support. That's right, even though the United States at that time was in chaos because of the death of the player Frietta. 500,000 people were punished with frenzy, and the country was in chaos. However, the U.S. government still fulfilled its promise and arrived in Vietnam on time, bringing a number of drones and high-efficiency sprayers. It is claimed that the locust plague in the Red River region can be completely eradicated in no more than 7 days. The leader of UA State was deeply moved, treating others with courtesy and vigorously promoting the good deeds of the United States, have won a lot of people's hearts. At that time, the people of Yan country gathered in Su Lin's live broadcast room. Didn't pay attention to these messages. Now that I know this, I have a bad feeling for some reason. Solve the locust plague within 7 days. This is pure nonsense. Could it be that the prophecy of the Tiania boss is about to come true? 3 seconds of silence for the kingdom of UA. At the same time, the people of Yan also found out information about the chosen ones from other countries. The Sakura country next door is living a good life. The player's name is Yusugi Natsumi, and he is only in his 20s. After dropping out of high school, I have been staying at home like a shut-in. The live broadcast was extremely boring. Either he lies in bed sleeping, or he gets up and stares blankly. Not even a door was opened. I guess he was thinking that the novice protection period would end, and he would be automatically eliminated by the game. It's completely messed up. There are 2 completely different views on this in the Sakura country. One side believes that Yusugi Natsumi is not enterprising, a good-for-nothing, and a useless piece of trash. Supporters say this is the wisest approach. If you do nothing, you won't get any reward, but you won't be punished either. So you won't lose your life and let the Sakura country become as miserable as Vietnam and the United States. The reaction of Yan people was, "That's it. When I saw your comments before, I thought your country's players were so great, but it turns out they are just waiting to die. Not to mention, there are quite a few players who hold such bad ideas. Most people who were selected to play the game were confused and at a loss." He stayed in the wooden house stupidly, not daring to even open the door as if there was some horrible taboo inside. But there are also some brave ones with an adventurous spirit, or those who can't resist their curiosity and take the initiative to open the door. Some encountered crises and died unfortunately, and the civilization of their countries was punished. Some benefited and made a small profit, making the people of their country cheer. Some players, after entering a random room, find that there is nothing inside, just an empty room. However, the number of random rooms opened during the novice period, 3 days, has increased, so it is not a complete loss. It's the 2nd day of gaming time. There is only 1 day left tomorrow, and the novice period will be over. Ambitious players who don't want to be eliminated can only hurry up and open the door. Due to the death of Layth player, the country's civilization will be punished in 10 minutes. I hope everyone will take this as a warning. Due to the death of Maidla player, in 10 minutes, the civilization of this country will be subject to targeted punishment. Due to the death of Matti Nea player, 10 minutes later, the country's civilization. The world broadcasts of the marriage game continued to sound one after another. By noon, more than a dozen players had died, and more than a dozen countries were punished. Various disasters struck one after another. There was even a small country that was destroyed because of this. It is a small island country in the Atlantic Ocean, close to the east coast of the United States. The population is only a few tens of thousands. It is also a military base set up by the United States. The leader of this country has always wanted to join the United States and become an administrative region of the United States. But I was rejected every time. The US's meaning is very clear. Just do your job as a tool. If you want to embrace free democracy and ask us to allocate money to develop your godforsaken place, it's impossible. The player from the small island country died because he entered a random room, fell into the sea, and drowned. So, the targeted punishment of the country in the marriage game is a tsunami. It directly submerged the small island and announced the demise of the country. This is also the first case in the world where a country was destroyed due to punishment for a marriage game. Countries around the world lowered their flags to half-mast to express condolences. People all over the world also feel the same fear and are experiencing the same thing. God Sue should be all right. Shut up your crow mouth. If you don't speak, no one will think you are dumb. How many doors has God Sue opened now? 2 random rooms and 1 wedding room. That is to say, if he opens 1 more random room, Su Shen will not be eliminated. The people of Yan are inevitably nervous. It's just the last step, don't make any mistakes. Many people prayed to gods and Buddhas and began to pray silently for Su Lin. And just at this moment, a piece of news attracted their attention. English player Albert Gray, ready to enter the marriage room. As soon as this news came out, it attracted a lot of people's attention. They switched channels and entered the live broadcast room of the English players. In the picture, it shows a gentle-looking man in his 30s with blonde, curly hair, wearing a tuxedo and gold-rimmed glasses. He stood in front of the golden wedding room, looking hesitant. The people of England were frantically posting comments to cheer him on. Hooray for Viscount Albert. I can guarantee that the marriage partner must be a beautiful princess from a foreign country, so that she can be worthy of Viscount Albert's noble status. The former glory of the British Empire may be restored by the Viscount. The little monkeys of Yan country can only match up with the wild rabbits that are neither human nor beast. They are really disgusting Fury fans. Come on, Lord Viscount, you must not lose to others. Chapter 17, Slug, the destined daughter of the British aristocracy. The Yan people who had just entered the English live broadcast room were stunned. Are you just being blamed? How come everything can be linked to us? As expected of this country which is known as a troublemaker, if they don't stir up trouble or incite hatred, they won't even dare to say that they are English. Strange, why is this player named Albert holding a fire stick in his hand? An audience from Yan country asked curiously. This statement caused great anger in England. What fire stick? This is the treasure Viscount Albert got in the random room. Also, please be careful with your address. Don't use the word guy to comment on me, an English noble. That's really uncultured. Please forgive me. After all, they are just barbarians with backward civilization. I bet that there are no words like politeness and respect in their dictionary. The people of Yan were confused. But some people don't understand, so I'm asking out of curiosity. Why does it feel like your stress response has been triggered? After all, the ugly short stick in Albert's hand was more than 1 meter long, and the top part was burnt black. It really looks like a fire stick. Click on the screen again to view the information about this treasure that the English people call treasure. Name candlestick. Type tool/weapon. Rating E. Quality white. Star rating. Features start fire illuminate. The material is similar to bronze. The holder can inject spiritual energy into it, which will cause a ball of fire to appear at the charred top of the stick. To put it simply, this is a multi-purpose tool. Can be used as a torch to illuminate the view. Can also be used as a weapon. I thought it was some kind of magical weapon, but after blowing it for so long, it turns out to be just a firewood stick. A shit stirrer and a fire stick are a match made in heaven. There's nothing wrong with that. You still dare to say that we are backward and barbaric. Tusk, we are no match for you bandits who plundered and looted all over the world in the early years. The treasures in your museum are not so much cultural relics as evidence of your numerous evil deeds. It's so funny what noble descendants. In our place, only pet cats and dogs are considered by bloodline, whose ancestors didn't have rich ancestors. The English people's arrogant and self-superior attitude aroused the disgust of the Yan country audience, especially when they use insulting words like lowly and inferior. He also said, "It is your honor to be conquered by us, and dirty wild monkeys don't deserve to live in this world." It was like a fuse, completely igniting the anger of the Yan people. I don't want to argue with you lowly people. Our noble Viscount Albert has already opened the marriage room. Let me show you disgusting monkeys. What kind of partner is worthy of being a noble of my British Empire? Screen. Albert Gray adjusted the bow on his collar. He turned the handle of the bridal chamber and opened the door. What comes into view is a quiet garden. The air was exceptionally fresh, and a breeze blew by, bringing with it a delicate fragrance. In this situation, it doesn't seem like there is any danger. Albert used the poker as a gentleman's walking stick. Behave elegantly and walk leisurely. Although it looks a bit out of place and even a bit funny, but at least it was a high-quality weapon, and holding it, Albert wouldn't panic. There are many kinds of flowers and plants along the way. Albert felt refreshed immediately. It seemed like it had just rained. The flowers and plants are stained with crystal-clear water droplets. The dirt ground was wet. Albert also accidentally stepped into a puddle and soiled his expensive boots. I bet that the Viscount's partner will be a beautiful flower fairy. I think she is more like a noble elven princess. She is the Viscount's destined daughter. Keep a low profile. Don't make the little monkeys of Yan country jealous, tilde. Then let them see what the elegance of British nobility is. I can't wait to know the answer. The English people looked confident of victory. Now is their fantasy time. They all began to think about the civilized marriage rewards that were about to come. Popping champagne at halftime was not a good sign. There is no idiom like extreme joy leads to sorrow in their dictionary. With excitement in his heart, Albert followed the sound and walked through a bush of flowers. When you finally find a partner who matches your marriage space, the whole person was stunned. There seemed to be a magnitude 9 earthquake in the pupil. Even the fire stick that was used as a walking stick fell to the ground. Badgy, tilde. The sound of chewing was heard. It seemed that he noticed someone behind him. The figure swallowed the flowers and plants in his mouth with a gulp sound. Mudwormwood, my spouse. Her voice was a little sticky and unclear, like a chubby girl who had just woken up. The shape is very pleasing. It's similar to sound in some ways. It looks like a snail without a shell, has 2 pairs of tentacles, and is yellow-white in color. After she finished speaking, she lowered her head and started eating the flowers and plants on the ground. At a close distance, you can clearly see the sharp teeth like gears inside her mouth. You have entered the marriage room and can choose to be a partner with the female Gaba of the sticky insect tribe. All the audience in front of the screen were shocked. Especially for the English people, it is even more difficult to accept this result. What the hell is this slime bug tribe? It's clearly just a disgusting slug. And this unlucky name, Gaba, what the hell, are you serious? Damn it, why did Su Lin from Yan country get the cute bunny-eared girl? This is not fair. In fact, they also envied Su Lin, but they were jealous and unwilling to admit it. I never expected that I would be slapped in the face so quickly. To this, the reaction of the Yan country audience was, is this the elegance of a British aristocrat? I finally got to see it. You know what, as soon as I saw Miss Gaba's look, I was determined to be with this couple. A perfect match, a blessing from heaven. On this beautiful night with a full moon, 2 hearts love each other and rejoice in each other, tilde. Ha ha ha, they're singing this. Please stop talking, I'm really dying of laughter. At this time, marriage space. Albert quickly picked up the fire stick. Oh no, the candlestick. You don't come over here. He shouted loudly without caring about his image, and even fell several times while retreating. He was dirty and unkempt, looking like a drowned rat. There was no trace of his aristocratic demeanor at all. What, you seem scared? A female slimeworm named Gaba had her antennae swaying, and her voice was filled with doubt. Fire? Yes, it's a bug, it should be afraid of fire. Albert tried to activate the fire stick, hoping to create a flame that would burn the evil, sticky slug to death. It turned out that he was overthinking it. He is now just an ordinary person without any spiritual power. There is no use for this 1-star weapon. Just when he saw that the situation was not good and was about to run back home, a ball of smelly liquid like phlegm spurted out of Gaba's mouth. Albert was hit accurately and was trapped tightly, unable to move. Chapter 18, he really made me cry. You seem to be resisting me. The sticky insect girl, Gaba, moved closer with her body wiggling. At such a close distance, Albert could clearly see a circle of sharp teeth in her mouth. Recall the instructions before entering the marriage room. If you refuse a marriage request, there is a high probability that you will cause the other party's anger. Judging from the situation, once he opens his mouth, this disgusting slug will definitely eat him as food. Damn it! Albert couldn't help but curse in his heart. The Gray family is an English noble family that has been passed down for hundreds of years. There was even a leader in my ancestry. Since the day he was born, Albert was naturally superior to countless others. They are often proud of their aristocratic status, and the women they associate with are often daughters of wealthy families or daughters of powerful families. The top female stars in the eyes of ordinary people are like trash to him, and he would not even bother to play with them even if they were given to him for free. If I really became a partner with this slug, wouldn't it bring shame to the Grey family and make me a laughing stock to the whole world? At the critical moment, Albert's mind raced. No, 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 I admire a magical species like you. After a pause, Albert suppressed his nausea and said something against his will to compliment him. Only, love takes time to develop. If I fall in love with you at first sight, it's not love at all, it's just desire. Albert forced a smile, trying to make his expression seem more sincere. Isn't this pure deception? You are just afraid of being killed by the big slug, so you hypocritically tell lies to deceive her. In this regard, the English people admired his wit. As expected of Viscount Albert, he has received elite education since childhood and his reaction is quick. If it were any other civilian, they would have been frightened and panicked, and would have done something stupid to anger the other party. The Viscount deserves an Oscar for his acting skills. This is an accident. It's okay to decline politely. As long as I can return home safely, my next partner might really be a delicate princess. Their speeches always carry a mysterious confidence. I don't know who gave them the courage. In the marriage space, Albert struck while the iron was hot. I wonder if you have ever heard of platonic love, which is a pursuit of the soul and spirit. He talked on and on, praising from time to time. All kinds of lies come out of his mouth. As long as I can get away from this damn place and stay away from this disgusting and lowly species, what does lying matter? Furthermore, how can it be called deception to the nobles? That is called a scheme. The big slug tilted its head, as if it didn't understand and looked very confused. What's with the palabunny thing? All Gabba knows is pa. But you said Gobber is beautiful, and Gobber is very happy. The subject suddenly changed. The big slug stuck its entire body to Albert, and its two tentacles happily rubbed his cheeks. So I accept you as my spouse. Albert, English citizens, Yan people, this is like shooting oneself in the foot. Wait, I mean we can be friends first and then. Before Albert could finish, the big slug rolled him up and put him into the excretory cavity. Let's do something fun. From now on, we can be together every day. The slime worm tribe has a special body structure. Excretion, mating, and reproduction are all accomplished through the excretory cavity. So, he has really become a troublemaker now. The screen suddenly went black. The English player, Albert, is holding a marriage ceremony with the slime insect woman, Gaba. The following scene is not suitable for playback, and the system automatically blocks it. The moment when the announcement of the marriage game appeared, the English people were all silent. Then I thought about their arrogant and conceited faces just now. The people of Yan couldn't help but sigh that retribution came so quickly. I told you guys to act cool all the time, now you've been struck by lightning. /applause, JPG. On this night of full moon and beautiful flowers, lovers come together in pairs. You know, who else in this world can play in the water with you like a pair of mandarin ducks? Fly side by side with you. It sounds good, it sounds good. One more song, one more song. The song was persecuted critically, and with the precedent of Albert, I could no longer look at the song in the eye. The turtle and the mung bean are attracted to each other. This is the charm of the British aristocracy. Our Su Shen will never be able to learn this. The English people felt so ashamed and angry that their cheeks ached. But as an old capital power, we cannot lose in momentum. Even if you have to pretend to be rich, you can't lose face. What do you idiots know? This is called putting the overall situation first. Viscount Albert had no choice but to commit himself to that monster in order to prevent the country from suffering a disaster. It is because we have such warriors that the glory of the British Empire can shine throughout the world. Savage monkeys don't understand what chivalry, bravery, and sacrifice are. I originally thought that noble gentlemen were all spineless, but I didn't expect that the Grey family would have such a selfless and great person like Viscount Albert. He really did, I cried to death. His ability to confuse right and wrong and reverse right and wrong is truly superb. Anyone with a discerning eye could see that Albert hadn't thought about those things at all and just wanted to walk away. It was clearly forced by that big slug. When faced with two evils, choose the lesser one. In fact, there is nothing the English people can do. If the marriage ceremony is not held, the whole country will be in trouble when Albert dies. So, for the glory of the British Empire, my Lord Viscount, please make a sacrifice. Although it is embarrassing, As long as it can bring practical benefits to England, people will not care about you. At most, they will laugh at you in private. When the golden wind and jade do meet, it is better than countless things in the world. Congratulations to the English player, Albert, and the slime worm, Gaba, for successfully completing the marriage ceremony. So fast, Su Lin from Yan country took several hours. You're done in just a few minutes. But think about it, how much interest can one have in a big slug? Those who can successfully complete the ceremony are considered to be brave enough to challenge. Then came the personal reward Albert received. Talent, sticky insect follower, E+, skills. Foul-smelling phlegm white, spiritual essence pill E+ X10, charm 5. Immediately following, it's the marriage reward from England. Player Albert, you can set the threshold for issuing marriage rewards. If you skip this step, the reward will be issued by England by default. At this time, Albert was smelly all over, and his clothes were covered with all kinds of disgusting impurities. My eyes seemed to have lost their color, and I was in no mood to read the system prompts. Because he still didn't respond. Therefore, the matchmaking game automatically awards marriage rewards. Because the English player, Albert, got married, the whole world celebrates, and now we are issuing marriage rewards to the English civilization. All people gain, health +2, stickiness +3, charm 1. Walter, the English people were stunned on the spot. Chapter 19, brothers in trouble but calculating against each other. Not to mention that your charm value can be reduced. What the hell is the sticky just a reward? The English citizens hurriedly checked their bodies. Soon the conclusion was reached. I was sweating faster and my clothes were soaked. Me too, and my sweat is extremely abnormal, sticky and like disgusting snot. Isn't this a reward? Why does it feel like a punishment? Also, I just looked in the mirror and my face seems a little asymmetrical. Charm 1, will it make people ugly? God, why do you torture your faithful believers like this? Look at it from a bright side. There is still a health +2 benefit, which is not too hard to accept. Our country has a well-developed medical system, and doctors should be able to solve this sticky problem. There is no harm without comparison. When they thought about the Yan kingdom, which they looked down upon everywhere, they felt that it had received the reward without any negative buffs because of Su Lin. The English people felt uncomfortable. Especially in terms of rewards, we are far behind others. How come he got the talent of speed, and the wave/skill which sounds very powerful? Viscount Albert can only become a sticky insect that spews disgusting phlegm. To this, in the Yangu forum, a user with the ID, Tiania, guessed the answer after comparison and analysis. The reward system has a lot to do with marriage partners. For example, the rabbit people have a talent for speed, so the reward for our Dayan is to increase the national agility attribute. As for charm, it is related to beauty and ugliness. A beautiful partner rewards charm, while an ugly one reduces charm. I don't know if you have noticed that the 10 spiritual yuan pills awarded by God Su are of D-grade quality, while the ones awarded by Albert are of E+ grade. Therefore, the marriage reward also takes into account factors such as strength level, appearance, race, and physique, and makes adjustments based on these comprehensive data. It is well-reasoned and convincing. He is indeed worthy of being called the big boss of Tiania. It seems that even if the marriage ceremony is successfully held, it does not mean that all citizens will benefit. The Yan state benefited from Su Lin's help. Looking at Su Shen's live broadcast room again, it was still pitch black, and the wedding ceremony was still in progress. The people of Yan sighed. He is worthy of being a great god, his physical fitness is excellent, he is simply a fighter among men. Lu Xun once said, people's sorrows and joys are not in common, I just think they are noisy. The mood of the English people at this time exactly reflected this statement. They sadly discovered that even the top hospitals in the country currently have no way to solve the stickiness of the body. The sweating on the body's surface cannot be controlled at all, and it will continue after a while after wiping. The whole person was sticky and exuded a fishy smell. Many foreigners would hold their noses and stay away from these greasy men and women when they meet them. To some extent, all English people have become human slugs in disguise. This made them extremely distressed, and there was even some resentment among the people. The Grey family, to which Albert belonged, immediately used their connections and media opinions to handle the matter. Compared to the disaster in England, where countless lives were lost, this is just a minor problem. Viscount Albert made such a sacrifice to restore the glory of the British Empire. He volunteered to be crucified like Jesus. How great is that? This is a belief, a faith. Compared to the tragic situations in other countries, we English people really win thoroughly. Come on, life will become sweeter and sweeter. Just talking about this underground tunnel sounds very convincing. The English people gradually accepted this negative buff. It's just that the overall national confidence has been hit hard to some extent, but at least people have restrained their emotions and are no longer arrogant. Due to the death of the Gaul player, Dulce, the country's civilization will be subject to targeted punishment in 10 minutes. I hope everyone will take this as a warning. The global broadcast sounded again. Watch the live replay again. This Darcy is a black man. The cause of death was entering a random room and eating a brightly colored mushroom. Then the whole person became emaciated at a speed visible to the naked eye and eventually turned into a mummy. From the expression left on his face, it can be seen that he died in great pain. 10 minutes passed in a flash. Gaul had no time to respond. In view of the death of the Gaul player, Dulce, targeted punishment is now being imposed on the country's civilization. The penalty is weakness. Description: weak constitution prone to disease. Location: all of Gaul, all citizens. This means that all Gauls are in a sub-healthy state. Strong people become thin. He was originally a thin man, but now he became weak all over. The situation for the elderly, the weak, the sick, and the disabled is even worse. The entire country of Gaul is in a mess. Hospitals are overcrowded, and there is a shortage of medicines and medical staff. The country has requested medical assistance from all over the world. You idiot, you have no brains at all. Anyone with eyes knows that the mushroom is poisonous and can't be eaten, but he still stuffed it into his mouth. Let me just say, you can't count on people of this skin color. Their brains are totally abnormally developed. Fuck all of you, Darcy didn't mean it. He's not a botanist, so how can he know what's poisonous or not? You're discriminating against us black people. Do you dare to tell me the location of your home? I, your black dad, will come to your house to talk to you in person. My mother is dying of illness because of the stupid mistake he made. Don't you even say an apology. That's because you, Mukin, are asking for trouble. Hurry up and send her to your black father so he can give her a few injections. What the hell is racial discrimination? I don't care. Just based on your attitude, you will be my enemy from now on. Fuck you, how dare you talk to your black daddy? Gaul is our black territory. We are giving you a lot of face by participating in the competition for you. You bunch of get out of Gaul. There were various demonstrations and clashes on the streets. England, which had always been at odds with Gaul, finally found comfort. Compared to Zairo High's stupidity, our Viscount Albert is more reliable. All kinds of gloating and mocking comments. These did not cause much waves for the people of Yan, because Yan country's live broadcast channel has finally returned to normal. Finally, I can continue to watch God Su's operations. In the picture, Su Lin was standing at the door of random room number 1. However, the hidden hint given by the golden finger has changed. Random room number 1. There is a beast with E+ level strength inside, and its meat is delicious. The danger sign has disappeared. It also gave a good review for the taste. Is this because its strength level has increased, so it is easy to hunt it? Then he opened the door, took Ellie and walked in. Chapter 20 Versailles. Actually, I have very bad luck. The space is a plain meadow. About 100 or 200 meters ahead, there was a creature the size of a moose, with a long bony horn on its head that looked like a sword. Name Sharp-Horned Deer. Grade E+. Psychic Power 85. Combat Power Assessment. Hidden hint, its sharp corners are good E-grade material. Let me do it. Ellie volunteered. With a few jumps, he ran to the front of the Sharp-Horned Deer. Sensing the presence of Ellie, the Sharp-Horned Deer saw that the situation was not good and wanted to escape. But in terms of speed, he was no match for Ellie and was easily caught up by her. With a powerful kick, the spiky horned deer, which was more than 2 meters tall at the shoulder, was knocked to the ground. With another kick, the E+ level monster died on the spot. The Yan people who witnessed this scene were stunned. Damn, this was too fast. I didn't even see how she did it. I was so scared. I thought it would be a big fight if I encountered a monster, but luckily it was safe. Rabbit Elise is so high. This is the 3rd random room opened by Su Shen. It has already met the basic conditions for not being eliminated. Godsu 666, Big Boss is awesome. What? Ellie is awesome. Su Lin was already standing next to Ellie, rubbing her little head as a reward. Hee Tilda. Ellie pointed at the body of the spiky horned deer and said, I didn't dare to use too much force just now for fear of accidentally damaging the antlers. Although the material is ordinary, it can barely be made into a handy weapon. Little Ellie is quite attentive. I knew Su Lin had the wave/slash skill and was lacking a weapon, so I paid attention to him. Otherwise, with just one kick from her, the E+ grade sharp horned deer would have died long ago. There is nothing else of value in space. Return to the home cabin. Su Lin originally wanted to deal with the corpse of the sharp horned deer. Ellie disliked his clumsy behavior and stopped him because she was worried that he might damage the materials. The fur can be used to make clothes, hats, shoes, or even scabbards. Ellie disassembled the spiky horned deer skillfully and was so careful to find suitable uses for each part and material. It feels really good to have a wife who has excellent handicraft skills. While Ellie was busy, Su Lin turned his gaze to the random room again. Room 1 and Room 2 have been cleared. There was sulfuric acid rain in Room 4 again, and the scene was still dangerous. Random Room Number 3. A treasure chest monster disguised as a green treasure chest, D-level. Kill it and you can get some materials. The danger warning also disappeared. Presumably, the strength of the treasure chest monster is weak even at the D-level. Su Lin picked up the deer antler that looked like a sword. It's not done yet. AI Lee looked up and looked at Su Lin with bright eyes. What are you going to do? Make another copy. I'll go with you. Good. Su Lin was not arrogant. With Ellie, a D-level expert with rich combat experience, it is not a problem to deal with the treasure chest monster. It's a good time to try the wave/slash again. When they saw Su Lin about to open the door again, the people of Yan couldn't help but get nervous. God Su, don't get carried away. Blind boxes are risky. Be careful when opening them. Relax with Tutu here. God Su will be fine. Haha, you gambler will never die a good death. Su Lin, you will be like me and lose everything you have. Another scumbag who didn't get the marriage reward came here to vent his negative emotions. Don't pay attention to the crazy guy upstairs. He lost his wife and children because of gambling. His biological parents were angered to death by him. All the disturbances in the outside world have no effect on Su Lin. Random Room Number 3, the space is very simple. There are cold rock walls all around. At the deepest point lies a green treasure chest, glowing brightly in the dim space. The information suddenly appeared in front of all the viewers. Name, excellent treasure box. Grade D. Quality, green down arrow. Stars. Features, there may be treasures of excellent green quality stored inside. Audience from Yan country. Fuck, I'm rich. As expected of God Su, the Emperor of Europe is alive, and his luck is bursting. It feels like there are ants crawling all over my body. Open it and see what good stuff there is. The information they saw was the same as that displayed in the marriage game. Is this considered a bad taste in the game? If I couldn't see the true appearance of the treasure chest, I would really be tricked by the treasure chest monster. Wow, the treasure chest is open tilde. Ellie's eyes lit up and she was about to get closer, but was stopped by Su Lin. What's wrong? Not only Ellie, but also the people watching were extremely puzzled. There's something strange. Su Lin didn't explain much. He grasped the deer antlers tightly with both hands, treating them as a dagger and shaking them violently. Following his low growl, a sword energy suddenly burst out. It was the skill wave/slash. Bang! A sword mark suddenly appeared on the green treasure chest. Immediately following, under everyone's surprised gaze, the treasure chest, which was originally a dead object, actually came alive. The lid of the box opened, revealing sharp teeth and a fat tongue covered with barbs. Su Lin exposed his disguise in one blow. The true message it hides is finally revealed. Name, treasure box monster. Level D. Psychic power 250. Talent, disguise. Combat power assessment. Hidden tips. There are no treasures in the treasure chest, only monsters. Although it is not a real treasure chest, it will not disappear like a real treasure chest after being killed. You can get some materials by decomposing the corpse of the treasure chest monster. What is a surprise? That called a surprise. The psychic energy value of the treasure chest monster shown as 250 is more like an insult to other people's IQ. You deserve to be deceived and eaten by it. If Su Lin had not discovered something was wrong in advance and been caught off guard, he would probably have succeeded. Roar tilde. The treasure chest monster roared. Su Lin's attack made it angry, so it jumped over and wanted to eat this bastard. With a bang, the treasure chest monster in midair was kicked backwards by Ellie and hit heavily against the rock wall. Ellie stepped forward. The steps are like some kind of dance, agile and graceful. Like fairies walking in step with Lotus, dancing lightly and gracefully. This is her combat skill, Bunny War Dance. The treasure chest monster was obviously very close to her, but she couldn't attack it and was easily avoided by Ellie every time. In addition, Su Lin used Wave Slash to carry out long-range attacks. The treasure chest monster is doomed to fail. It's a long story, but in reality, it all happened in an instant. In the blink of an eye, the treasure chest monster was easily killed. Su Shen V587 is handsome. Su Shen New Beer. Too powerful. If it were me, I would probably be killed by the insidious treasure chest monster the moment I saw it. I've never seen such a thing before. The treasure chest actually has a disguise. You are so hot in the matchmaking game. The people of Yan cheered and celebrated, and breathed a sigh of relief. How do you know it's a monster? Ellie shook her bunny ears, her pretty face full of curiosity. It's just a test, Su Lin explained casually. I am not a lucky person. I don't really believe in pie in the sky. I didn't expect that I would find out something fishy. Bad luck. The audience began to doubt life. If there is a player like you, the first random room will open a potion, and the second one will open a spiritual fruit. The marriage matching room also matches a perfect partner like Bunny Ellie. If you are unlucky, then players from other countries will have no chance of survival. Chapter 21, Showman and Noble Spirit of Sacrifice. After the treasure chest monster dies, its body flashes with a white light. When I looked closer, I saw it was a white card with a workbench pattern on it. Name, Ordinary Forging Table. Type, Facility. Rating, E+. Quality, White Up Arrow. Stars. Features can be used to make tools, weapons of D level or below, and E level, white, quality. Hidden tip, used by Ellie, increases forging success rate by 15%. It turns out that you can also get items by killing monsters, just like playing games. Because Ellie has the talent of dexterity, it will increase the chances. Su Lin pondered. Return home, disassemble the treasure chest monster's body, and get some refined iron, ore, small pieces of jewelry, and other materials. Su Lin used the white card. There was a flash of light, and the forging table was placed in the living room. The core device inside is the blast furnace, which is used to ignite the fire. In addition, there are various tools placed on the table. Although it is small, it has all the necessary functions. Even if you find a higher quality forging table to replace it in the future, you can turn it back into cards for easy storage, which is very thoughtful and practical. Little Ellie was overjoyed when she saw the forging table. He looked around here and there and couldn't help but play with it, like a child who got his favorite toy, with joy shining in his eyes. With this forging table, I can save a lot of time. I think I can forge a handy weapon soon. Her laughter is like the singing of birds in the morning, making people want to be happy with her. I'll go prepare lunch for you. I've been busy for most of the day and haven't eaten much. They also harvested sharp horned deer to provide meat protein, about 400 kilograms, which, together with the fruits and vegetables taken from the marriage house, were enough to live on for a long time. It is worth mentioning that the golden pattern mark on Su Lin's forehead seems to be a system device given by the marriage game. Not only can you receive game prompts at any time, but you can also check various properties. You can also check the situation of your home while you are in other spaces. It also has a clock function showing the time. It is now a little after 3 in the afternoon. It should be synchronized with the real-world time. However, the spatial scenes of some random rooms and wedding rooms are very different. Some are during the day, and some are at night, so it is easy to be confused. The people of other countries who were hostile to Yan State felt extremely disappointed when they saw that Su Lin was safe and sound, and had benefited again. Laugh at the poor and hate the rich. How they wished Su Lin would be torn to pieces by monsters and die sooner, rather than later, so that we could open champagne and celebrate Yan country's misfortune. But this guy's luck is so good, it's like he's cheating and he seems to be able to predict danger in advance. It's hard not to accept it. The latest news. Someone from Vietnam and the United States has entered the marriage game. As soon as this message came out, people started switching screens to check it out. After all, these two countries were the first to step on the landmine, and I didn't expect that there would be new players so soon. Soon, the identities of the two players were found. The player from UA State is named Wu Jiang. He is wearing a military uniform and is said to be a non-commissioned officer under a certain general of UA State. He had a fierce look on his face, and it was obvious at first glance that he was not a good person. The new player from the United States is a black guy named Coent. His information can be easily found on the internet, and it is full of negative information. He was once an athlete, but was banned for life for suspected drug use, rape, tax evasion, and other issues. Amazing ZZ correct. If it weren't for his skin color, he would have been sent to the kiln for further training long ago. Furthermore, if he hadn't been courting death, he would have dared to evade taxes in the United States, which is known as the country of 10,000 taxes. I'm afraid there's not even a lifetime ban as a punishment. The Western factory agents of the IRS, U.S. Internal Revenue Service, really don't get along with you. Only because he paid the exorbitant fine on time after being punished did the masters of the Western factory feel satisfied and let him go. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to be selected by the matchmaking game and to serve the great America. In the picture, COINTE is standing in the living room of the cabin, looking like he is solemnly taking an oath. The moment I became the chosen one, I was already prepared. I would never make a stupid mistake like that idiot Frietta. No matter what strange race my marriage partner is, I will successfully perform the ceremony with her and win a reward for my motherland. As soon as these words were spoken, they immediately won applause from many Americans. People who cherish the American dream firmly believe that COINTE will bring blessings to the United States, and he will be a hero of the American people. At last, COINTE also expressed his indignation at the discrimination faced by his black compatriots in Gaul. They used all kinds of tricks and live broadcasts of marriage games to set the pace for the Gaul kingdom. This resonated with many Americans, and they all expressed their indignation. The U.S. government attached great importance to this, and the spokesman of the defeated palace publicly condemned Gaul. Black Lives Matter ordered Gaul to immediately stop its unequal discrimination against the black community. There is no way, because COINTE represents the hope of the American dream. If we don't show some sign of trouble soon, those black thugs in the country will probably start making trouble again. Now they have another excuse when they conduct $0 purchase activities. They say they have been confused by the frenzied punishment of the matchmaking game. Don't blame me, blame that bastard Frietta, it's all his fault. As a result, the entire LGBT community can no longer hold their heads up in the United States. Even if they claimed that they had expelled Frietta from the game, it would be of no use. I have to say, this little black guy COINTE is quite efficient in his actions. The speech is over. He knelt directly at the door of the bridal chamber. Holding the cross pendant, he muttered something as if he was praying. He is a master of showmanship, but the American people really buy into this. What a pious and kind person he is. He is like an angel. In him I see the brilliance of humanity. As the Orientals have a saying, a prodigal son who returns is worth more than gold. COINTE has already made up for his past mistakes. We should really forgive him earlier. What a joke! With Cohen's character, is it necessary to be so arrogant? This is clearly a frame-up and persecution of our black community. I suggest that the defeated palace investigate the evil people who framed COINTE, and all the crimes will be brought to justice. Americans seem to be in some kind of cranial orgasm. At this time, COINTE was like a savior in their eyes. We will not allow any stain on the heroes of the American people, and will not allow them to distort facts or mislead public opinion. And at this moment, under the expectant gaze of countless American people, COINTE entered the bridal chamber. The space scene looks like a tropical rainforest. He held the cross in his hand, praying that he could get a hot and sexy girl to fuck him hard. All the stuff he said in his previous speech was just bullshit. He believed it just by listening. Even he himself didn't believe it. But after being banned and fined by the IRS, COINTE, who was left penniless, could only pretend to be a prodigal son, hoping to make some money and live his once wealthy life. Until the reminder of the marriage game sounded. It completely shattered his fantasy. You have entered the marriage room and can choose to marry the black ape woman, Wookie Mo. COINTE, American people, Chapter 22, Black People, Black Apes, I can't tell them apart. The black ape female named Wookimo is as black as her name suggests. It looks like a chimpanzee over 2 meters tall, only a head taller than Cohen himself. Crack tilde. He seemed to hear the sound of his own heart breaking. It took so much effort to make my heart beat, but you made me lose so completely. The American people who were watching the live broadcast were silent for a while, and finally spoke up to encourage. Come on, COINTE, don't forget what you just said. I believe you can do it. Even if it's a gorilla, oh no, a black ape, it shouldn't be a problem for you. Yes, at least it looks like a human, except that it has thicker hair. It's much better than the big slugs in England. Come on, brother, don't hesitate. Maybe you can experience a different kind of fun. What? Cohen's mind went blank and he stood there stupidly, at a loss as to what to do. Chimpanzees. Chimpanzee. My partner is a giant ugly chimpanzee. His mind was filled with these words, and he felt terrible. Although the news has reported that people of his skin color had experienced unspeakable things with chimpanzees. Even diseases like AIDS were caused by black men in black states raping female gorillas. Cohen's ancestral home is in the black state, but he believes that he is different from his compatriots who still live in primitive society and are backward and barbaric. I have seen the bright lights and debauchery of the United States and have played with many women, whether by using money, force, or deception. How can you accept this? In front of you, the big chimpanzee named Ukimo was picking his nose and staring at him. Hey, male, you look a lot like us black apes. She dug out a piece of disgusting brown booger, rolled it into a ball with her sturdy fingers, threw it into her mouth and chewed it, with an expression of enjoyment on her face. Vomit. The entire audience felt a chill and nausea. I almost vomited at this disgusting scene. Do you really want to mate with this chimpanzee? Cohen swallowed. He doesn't care at all about what the American people think. He only cares about his own life. With the experience of watching the live broadcast in the past 2 days, he understood that if he rejected his partner's request, the only outcome would be death. Therefore, he made that speech after entering the marriage game. At least he could stand up for justice, so why not do it? At this time, many Yan people also came to the live broadcast channel of the United States. Some Yan people who arrived earlier explained the cause and effect. After listening, someone else asked, "Excuse me, which of the 2 people on the screen is the chimpanzee? The one with lots of hair and eating big nose. The one wearing clothes and with less black hair is the American black Cohen Te." I see, thank you /heart, JPG. I don't have any expectations for Zio High. It's not enough that he has brought disaster to Gaul, now he has started to bring disaster to the United States. They are not good birds. You ask me what I think, I just smile and watch. What? The American player, Cohen, is holding a marriage ceremony with the black ape, Ukimo. The following scene is not suitable for playback and the system automatically blocks it. Unexpectedly, this little black guy named Cohen was really brave and went ahead and mated with the big chimpanzee. To this, the American people's response is, Cohen, the light of the United States, the savior of the people. He is our hero and the pioneer must not be blasphemed. The reaction of the Yan people was, moved so moved. The wedding ceremony lasted for more than 10 minutes and then ended. The picture returns to normal. Looking at Cohen Te's expression at this time, he seemed to be feeling a little unsatisfied. There is even a kind of enjoyment in it, a different kind of experience with a unique flavor. When the golden wind and jade do meet, it is better than countless things in the world. Congratulations to the American player, Cohen, and the black ape, Ukimo, for successfully completing the marriage ceremony. You have received the following rewards. Talent, Black Ape Constitution D, Skills. Black Ape Iron Fist Green, Spiritual Essence Pill D, X10, Charm 5. It's actually a D-level talent and green quality skills. There is also Ling Yuan Dan. It is exactly the same as Su Lin from Yan country. Well, there are some differences. For example, the charm is reduced, just like Albert in England. Shut up, compared to the realization of the American dream, being a little ugly doesn't matter. At most, you can put on some makeup or have a plastic surgery. I suspect you are an undercover agent of Yan country, and you are trying to split the unity and friendship of our American people by saying this. The American people were overjoyed and in a state of excitement. Player Cohen, you can set the threshold for issuing marriage rewards. If you skip this step, the reward will be given by the American civilization by default. When the prompt for the marriage game appeared, the cheering Americans suddenly paused. The United States is not as peaceful as Yan country. It has the largest number of prisons in the world, and ranks first in the world in terms of the number of criminals. In such a free and democratic environment, those who are honest and have never committed crimes are, after all, a minority. This guy, Cohen Te, must not learn from Su Lin and set a series of moral standards. Otherwise, you are not our hero, but we are traitors to the United States, the enemy of all Americans. The spit alone can drown you. Originally, Cohen Te wanted to distribute the civilized marriage reward to his black compatriots first, but he changed his mind after seeing the content of the reward. I can't let myself suffer alone and let you bastards watch me having fun. Cohen chuckled. Then he declared righteously, "Don't worry, my fellow Americans. I won't be like the little monkey from Yan country, being selfish and unwilling to share with others. I will not set any threshold conditions. I want all Americans to benefit. This is what I have always wanted to do." As soon as these words were spoken, they instantly won the recognition of all Americans. The whole audience cheered and applauded. Congratulations to the United States for producing such a great, selfless, and noble person. Even the scumbags in Yan country who didn't get any marriage rewards started to lick his boots. Look at his vision and bearing. Tusk, 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 that bastard Su Lin will never be able to learn that in his lifetime. As expected of a high-quality player trained by the human lighthouse, what Brother Hai said is really domineering. He is so handsome. I want to marry him and give birth to lots of babies for him. There are too many words like this. Although Yan State has stable public security, it is a country with a large population after all. The forest is big, and there are all kinds of birds. There will always be some idiots and sheepdogs, especially since none of them received the marriage rewards from the Yanwang civilization. It is enough to prove that they have bad character and are complete scum. How big a brain can you expect from them? However, the subsequent national marriage reward was like a bucket of cold water poured on the heads of the American people. Because the American player, Ko-Ent, got married, the whole world celebrates, and now we are issuing marriage rewards to the American civilization. All citizens of the United States gain. Health +3, Strength +2, Fluff +3, Atavism +2, Intelligence 1, Charm 1. P.S. Thank you all for your votes, tilde. The weather is too hot recently. Be prepared for heatstroke, tilde. Chapter 23. Su Shen seems to be heading in a strange direction. Good news, I got 6 marriage rewards. Bad news, 4 of them are debuffs. The American people are mentally prepared for their charm to decrease, and they will become uglier. But I never expected that it would also reduce 1 point of intelligence. Although the impact is not that big, I always feel disgusting as if I had eaten a fly. In particular, there are the strange effects of Fluff +3 and Atavism +2. The impact is that Americans are really experiencing a reversion to their ancestors. Except for small areas such as hands, feet, palms, and lips, the entire body is covered with long black hair. Some people's coccyx even grows a little tail, several centimeters long. This is the so-called atavism phenomenon, which refers to the degeneration of nerves and organs in modern humans and the appearance of physiological characteristics of human ancestors, the ancient apes. The emotions of Americans are like a roller coaster, ups and downs, highs and lows. And now, at this moment of receiving the reward of marriage, their mood is like a roller coaster that has gone off the track and crashed into the mountain, and their emotions are a little broken. Although thick hair represents a man's charm, this is too much hair. He looks like a monkey in a zoo. I suddenly remembered a movie I watched before, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. If Cohen continues to mess with that gorilla, will we Americans really degenerate into gorillas? Oh my God, this is more painful than killing me. I really suspect that Cohen didn't set the threshold in order to disgust us. He definitely did it on purpose. What's your intention? Aren't there positive rewards for health and strength? Don't take advantage of it. If it were you, you would never do as well as Cohen. At this time, America's savior, excellent little black braised eggs. Cohen, looking around at the surrounding environment. As the saying goes, when you are well fed and warm, you will think about desires. Now that his desires have been fulfilled, it's time to consider having enough food and clothing. Is there anything to eat or drink around here? Looking at the marriage space that looked like a tropical rain forest, Cohen wanted to follow Su Lin's example and get enough food in one go. The black ape companion scratched his head and caught a few insects such as flies, mosquitoes, and dung beetles nearby. He even caught a few fleas on his body. Here, just eat these. Cohen, are you thirsty? The big chimpanzee didn't waste the food either. He threw the insect in his hand into his mouth and ate it up in a few bites. I also caught several slippery and disgusting, real slugs on several plants. Just drink this. The juice of this bug is delicious. After that, he demonstrated it to Cohen himself. Bite off the slug's butt, put it in your mouth and suck it hard, and the slug, which is as big as your fist, will shrivel up in an instant. Drink it quickly, this treasure is rare in the forest. The big chimpanzee seems to like the small black boiled eggs very much. Help him bite off the butt of a slug, and then stuff it into his mouth without any explanation. Cohen was afraid that a hasty refusal would anger the terrifyingly powerful chimpanzee. So he endured the nausea and continued sucking. Salty, greasy, and smelly. It tastes like drinking snot. Vomit. In the end, the little black braised egg couldn't hold it in and vomited on the spot. The people of Yan who witnessed this scene were also disgusted. A poor imitator of God, Su. He has some cleverness, but not much. It's good to have something to eat. Once the novice period is over, eating and drinking will become a problem. In order to survive, let alone slugs, I guess I have to grit my teeth and eat a bunch of olge. Why don't you suddenly find it a little sweet that they feed each other slugs? Your taste buds are as good as Lao Ba's. Old Eight's American Country 8 Collection Skin Black Skin Old 8 Cohen Te. / Dog Head Funny. Just a joke. But after all, there are people who really admire Zio Hailu Dan's courage. After all, if he dares to attack even chimpanzees, what else would he not dare to do? The randomness of the partners in the matchmaking game is bound to be unfriendly to some players with normal XP. As long as the XP is high enough, the chances of survival will be greater. Having said that, watching Su Lin's live broadcast again, there are two completely different pictures. At this time, Su Lin Zheng and Rabbit-Eared Lady were eating roasted venison and drinking mountain spring water. There are both stir-fried and cold dishes available, as well as fresh and delicious fruits as after-meal desserts. Beautiful woman by your side. Delicious food. It's like coming here for vacation, making others envious. Eat and drink enough. Little Ellie brought out a brand new dagger from the forging table, as if offering a treasure. The information suddenly appeared before my eyes. Name, Deerhorn Sword. Type, Weapon. Rating, E+. Quality, White-Up Arrow. Stars. Features, this weapon was made by the Bunnaman Ellie and retains some of the characteristics of the horned deer. This feature description is somewhat intriguing and hard to understand. Fortunately, Su Lin has a golden finger. Hidden hint, the sword horn is the most important weapon of the horned deer. Years of polishing make it as sharp and tough as a sword. Equipping this weapon will help increase the power of the wave slash skill. Oh, is there such a hidden mechanism? Could it be that the shaking frequency of the wave slash has some unknown resonance effect with the sword horn? Try the effect. Su Lin took Ellie and entered the marriage space again. It's just a sword test. There's no need to do it in the wooden house at home. It would be more trouble than good if you accidentally messed up Ellie's carefully decorated home. Anyway, the marriage room has not yet been refreshed. The pastoral lake provides enough space for Su Lin to perform. Boom! A big tree was split in half. The remaining sword energy also cut down several small trees at the back. The power is indeed much stronger than before. Su Lin was just about to praise Ellie. Surprisingly, she discovered that her dexterity, talent had actually risen from E+ to D. Is it because making the deer horn sword has improved your talent proficiency? That's not all. Ellie's skills, Bunny War Dance Green, Wave Kick Green, also upgraded from LV3 to LV4. Look at your own properties panel again. The Wave slash Green skill was also suddenly upgraded to level 2. I only killed 2 small monsters today, so there shouldn't be such a significant improvement, right? What's wrong? Seeing Su Lin in a daze, Ellie blinked and asked curiously, is this sword not easy to use? How about I polish it again? No, I am satisfied. Su Lin hugged Ellie's soft and boneless waist and bent down to kiss her. The effect exceeded my expectations. Baby Ellie gave me a big surprise, so I was a little dazed. At this time, Su Lin happened to find the answer to the question. Dual cultivation blessing. The intimate interaction between the player and the partner can gain certain experience and improve the skill level of both parties. This is a special mechanism hidden by the matching game. Even if there is no cheating, players will find out sooner or later after spending some time with their partners. It was still early, only around 5 or 6 in the afternoon. There are more than 6 hours until the next door refresh. Su Lin is a man with aspirations. For the prosperity of the Yanhuang civilization, for the long-term happiness of your beloved partner, he is willing to devote his energy and seize the time to improve his strength as quickly as possible. So, in this infinite pastoral scenery, in order to reward little Ellie for making the weapon by herself, Su Lin decided to reward her. Yan Country player Su Lin is holding a wedding ceremony with the Bunnaman Ellie. The following scene is not suitable for playback, and the system automatically blocks it. At this time, the people of Yan, who had just returned from live broadcasts in other countries, had a face full of question marks. Again and again. Still coming. In 24 hours a day, apart from eating, sleeping, and fighting monsters, Is this all you think about doing? Godsu, oh Godsu, the direction you are working towards seems to be heading in a strange direction. So, P.S. Thanks to A Leaf blocks one from seeing the mountain for the 100-point reward tilde. Chapter 24, the world has changed, and the road to redemption lies in it. Compared to Su Lin's satisfaction, he was full of joy. Players from other countries have obviously not yet adapted to the pace of the game. Some choose to do nothing and start to play badly, such as Yusugi Natsumi from Sakura Country. There are many people like him. There are also those who unfortunately enter a dangerous room or refuse a partner's request and die, bringing disaster to their own civilization. There are also a few lucky ones who get to marry the beauty, such as the British aristocratic Big Slug and the American newcomer Cohen's chimpanzee. As the player acts, every choice affects the safety of his country's civilization. Major online platforms are constantly updating various breaking news. Any one of them would have been enough to shock the world in the past. The marriage game came into the world, and in just less than 2 days, it has seriously affected the direction of world affairs. Yan State issued orders one after another. One of them is aimed at foreigners in the country. Persuade them to return to their own countries. To put it bluntly, it means expulsion. After all, the chosen ones in each country are of varying quality. Once a player dies, it is simply impossible to cope with the punishment of the matchmaking game. The punishment is targeted, depends on how the player died. But the question is, who can predict how the player will die? Even if it could be predicted, which country in the world could solve this sudden disaster in just 10 minutes? It's okay if it's just an ordinary natural disaster. At least it happens in other countries. If it's a man-made disaster, for example, the frenzy caused by the former American player Frieda. There were a few Americans who came to travel and suddenly went crazy in Yan country. Fortunately, it was discovered and stopped in time, and no casualties were caused. There used to be a popular saying on the internet, "Science has no borders, but scientists do." Nowadays, from the moment the matchmaking game selects players from all over the world to enter the game, the fate of the player is completely tied to the fate of the country. If the players are strong, the country will be strong. If the players are weak, the country will be weak. If the player dies, the country may even perish. The small island country located in the Atlantic Ocean, close to the United States, that was destroyed by a tsunami, is the best proof. In everything, the overall situation should be the most important, and some trivial matters should be cut off quickly. As soon as this news from Yan State came out, it caused an uproar due to the instigation of some people with ulterior motives. Western media outlets have spoken out in condemnation. They cursed loudly and happily, but the thunder was loud, but the rain was small. Because soon, the United States made the same decision. The voices of Western media abusing Dayan suddenly became much quieter. He even copied Dayan's homework by following his example. It's just that they are very good at setting moral standards. The propaganda is, we are worried that the death of our own players will endanger the lives and safety of our foreign friends. Of course, we welcome foreign friends, but we pay more attention to human rights and are afraid that you will be implicated by us, which would be very bad. Full marks for T-Art. It has also raised the immigration threshold, restricted people from other countries from obtaining green cards, and implemented extremely strict review. As such, the situation for domestic players is basically good. You're smart, but we're not stupid. The people are all waiting to share the rewards. How can we let an outsider like you take advantage of them for nothing? You stinky outsider, are you here to beg for food from us? For the native people of this country, a foreigner is like a time bomb. There's no telling when it will explode. The point is, your country gets the marriage reward, but our country doesn't get any. If you want to blame someone, blame the mechanism of the marriage game. This is not something we can decide. When I woke up, the world had changed. Everything that happened so fast. Many people around the world have not reacted. The airport is full. All the planes are used for international long-distance flights. Repatriate foreigners from the country and send them to their own countries. For some people who were unwilling to leave, persuasion by staff from various countries was useless, and they could only drag them away by force. Survival of the fittest. The world's major powers have a tacit understanding and have no objections to such a decision, as if it was agreed upon. You were still condemning Dayan just a few hours ago. How come your tone changed so quickly? What's your stance? What about your persistence? Where is your moral integrity? Where is your dignity? It turns out it's all bullshit. It's just that you Western media didn't react for a while, and leading the trend, verbal abuse and attacks have become professional habits. That's why I said that at the beginning. It's been less than a few hours, and you have almost deleted all the posts on Oil Tank and Toth. Those that were not deleted in time have also lost popularity and cannot be found by searching. I'm afraid that the historian will dig up my grave and slap me in the face. The traders and foreign admirers in Dayan were all dumbfounded. I have finished writing my short essay, and you tell me to turn the page. You Westerners change your expressions faster than I type on my keyboard, especially some opportunists who have just applied for foreign green cards and are preparing to leave. You cannot embrace democratic freedom if you are suddenly told that your green card is invalid. They immediately felt as if they were falling into an icy cave, and all hope was lost. And these people, without exception, are all the dregs of society with corrupt morals and bad character. When the cold and cruel reality was laid out before them, they finally realized that no one else could be trusted on major issues. You can only embrace your motherland, even though she currently has many flaws and shortcomings. But in this ever-changing and turbulent world, at least you can have a place to take root. On the Dayan forum, a post titled Redemption was pushed to the front page and topped the list. The poster was none other than Brother Tiania, who is also known as the Emperor of Prophecy. Redemption, what is redemption? Perhaps I should ask you in return what is right, what is wrong. The core of this article about redemption is purely my personal opinion. I hope you guys will show some mercy. It also points out a clear path for those who have not received the civilized marriage reward. I sincerely hope that you will not give up on yourselves, become angry and blame others. As the saying goes, cultivate yourself, manage your family, govern the country, and bring peace to the world. As long as you turn over a new leaf, do more good deeds, and accumulate virtue, you will still have a chance to receive the reward of a civilized marriage in the future. The premise is that you are truly awakened, and not just pretending to be awake. Some people say that the fairest thing in the world is that we will all die. Now we have to add one more thing, that is the review mechanism of the marriage game. I agree with the threshold set by Godsu, because it's really good. At least it allows us to distinguish right from wrong and know what is right and what is wrong. I will never wrongly accuse a good person, and I will never let a bad person gain benefits for nothing. I think you should have experienced this firsthand. The words good and evil are placed on both ends of the scale. I believe you know what to choose. Redemption is not only a one-way salvation for individuals, but also a two-way redemption between civilization and the people. Chapter 25, Flower Fairy Clan, are Godsu's kidneys made of iron. You have to walk your own path. As for how to choose, it depends on the individual. Some people suddenly wake up, finally realize their shortcomings, reflect on their weaknesses, and make changes. Some people, however, scoffed at the words of the Tiania boss. What a bullshit way of salvation. It's clearly just to build a memorial arch and set an example. If that damn Su Lin hadn't deliberately set a series of moral indicators as a threshold, who would have the time to listen to your nonsense? Thunder strikes the truly filial son, and wealth brings forth the cruel heart. A hemp rope always breaks at the thinnest part, and misfortune always finds the unfortunate. In this cold and realistic society, honest people have long been eaten to the point where nothing is left. Some wealthy and powerful bosses and capitalists don't believe in this. The original accumulation of wealth was destined to be bloody and dirty. Every pore of theirs was dripping with blood, and their whole bodies were covered in blood. It takes 3 years to learn good things, and 3 days to learn bad things. What's more, at their age, their temperament has long been fixed. How can it change just because of a few words? Besides, the reason why he could not get the reward for a civilized marriage was ultimately due to Su Lin's restrictions. Even though he is successful and popular now, he may die at any time. When new players from Yan country are selected into the game, there will be another set of standards. Who can predict what will happen in the future? Time, like a couple in love, always drifts apart as time goes by. Midnight, hearing the prompt of the marriage game, Su Lin slowly woke up from his bed. As he stood up, he accidentally woke up little Ellie, who was resting her head on his arms. What's wrong? Ellie's red lips curled up slightly, and she forced open her sleepy eyes, looking very charming. The door has been refreshed. I'll go check it out. Su Lin gently moved his arm away and tidied up the slightly messy hair on the rabbit's little head. Let her have a good rest, and don't worry. Ellie seemed to be really tired. She hummed, curled up her legs, hugged the quilt tightly, and fell into a deep sleep. The moment Su Lin walked out of the bedroom, Yan Gu's live broadcast room finally returned to normal. The Yan country media, which had been closely following his movements, publicized the event at the first opportunity, instantly attracting countless people to watch. It's just past midnight now. If I remember correctly, all 5 doors have been refreshed. It started. You are worthy of being called Master, Su. You are so dedicated. Hold on, God, Su. There's no need to fight so hard. As long as you're alive, you'll be a hero of our Yan nation. Seeing Su Lin coming into the living room and standing in front of the 5 doors, the people of Yan couldn't help but feel a little anxious. Today is the 3rd day of the marriage game. Su Lin has already opened 3 random rooms and 1 marriage room, satisfying the requirements for not being eliminated from the game. In other words, even if Su Lin did nothing today, he could still advance smoothly. There is no need to put yourself in danger. But for Su Lin, who has activated the perspective cheat, danger, not exist. Random room number 1, dangerous scene. The pure Yang grass field is guarded by a fierce beast that has just broken through to sea level. Random room number 2, dangerous scene. Various traps and mechanisms are set up, but there are no resources worth obtaining. Random room number 3, dangerous scene, deep sea. The water pressure is about 1,000 times the standard atmospheric pressure. You will be squeezed to death by the terrifying water pressure. Random room number 4, special scene puzzle room, danger. You need to complete the escape room within the specified time, and the reward is a rare, blue, quality treasure chest. Rooms 2 and 3 are automatically ignored. The only rooms worth noting are Room 1 and Room 4. Pure Yang grass field. You can tell at first glance that it is a very rare plant resource. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a sea-level beast guarding it. C-class. Even if this ferocious beast had just broken through and had a spiritual power of at least 1,000, Su Lin and Ellie combined were no match for it. Let's leave it alone for now. However, the special decryption and escape from the secret room in Room 4 are quite interesting. Mainly, the rewards are very generous. Rare treasure chests are hard to come by, and the things inside are definitely much better than those in ordinary or excellent treasure chests. Su Lin was thinking. In the eyes of the audience, it seemed as if hesitant. I guess God Su is just getting angry and came out for a walk. It's better not to go in. At least it's safe. You Yan people are really good at making excuses. Being a coward is being a coward. What is there to be afraid of saying? IP, Sakura Country. That's still 1,000,000 times better than the bad players you guys have in your daily life. Oh my, that bastard Yusugi Natsumi is a waste, but we dare to admit it, unlike you who always like to make excuses for yourselves. IP, Sakura Country. You're right, but Matchmaking Game is an open-world adventure game developed for the purpose of civilization reproduction. Here, those chosen by God are awarded the Golden Flower Mark. The player will play a mysterious character called the Chosen One. Gauze upstairs, stop starting a fight here. Look at the live broadcast. God Su is about to enter the marriage room. What? Upon hearing this, both the Sakura Country and the Flame Country were shocked. It's only the 3rd day, and you're already eager to enter the 2nd marriage room. Are your kidneys made of iron? Can't such a cute rabbit satisfy you? As soon as this news came out, it instantly attracted people from all over the world to come to Yan Gu's live broadcast room. Some countries with which we have bad relations, for example, the United States, England, India, and other countries are eager for Su Lin to die. Curse Su Lin, it would be best if he could meet an extremely ugly race. Let's discuss Yan Country. Go back a few minutes. Su Lin originally wanted to go to random room number 4 and play an escape room game. But when he saw the information about the wedding house, he changed his mind. Name, Mirabelle. Race, Flower Fairy Clan. Strength, D+. Features, fairy among flowers, beautiful, delicate, plant-friendly, and varied. Appearance, Mirabelle Photo, JPG. Tip, the Flower Fairy Clan is nurtured in the wonderful flowers. Only after maturity will a life form like Flower Fairy be born and live in the flower nest. This race has a high talent for plant cultivation and is proficient in various auxiliary skills, which greatly helps the growth of their partners. They will also make corresponding adjustments to their bodies to adapt to the environment or other factors. Hidden tip, flower fairies are very picky about their partners. If the charm value is less than 8 points, the success rate of marriage is not high. Look at Mirabelle's photo again. Her face is beautiful, her skin is as white as snow, just like a blooming flower. No, perhaps she herself is the flower, delicate and elegant, with a stunning appearance and compelling aura. No wonder the characteristics suggest that she is very beautiful and delicate. Just like a fairy, Moreover, the flower fairy is also a face lover. Look at Su Lin's charm value again, 18 points. Far beyond the passing line. You can do it. Afterwards, Su Lin pushed open the golden door and entered the marriage space. So, P.S. Thanks to Lin Guaigua for the reward of 100 reading points. Thanks to A Leaf Blocks 1 from Seeing the Mountain for the reward of 988 diamping coins. There is also an update, so don't be impatient, dear friends. The weather has been too hot where I am recently. Whenever I turn on the air conditioner or the electric fan, I get a terrible headache. I am not in a very good condition and it is quite painful. Give me 2 days to rest. I will try to finish at least 2 or 3 chapters every day. If there are rewards, I will update more. Dear friends, please take good care of your health. Love you, tilde tilde. Chapter 26, I'll tell you a bedtime story about love. The stars and the moon dot the deep night sky like an exquisite black tapestry. The wedding scene is similar to a forest garden or flower garden. The flowers and plants are bright, the air is full of spring, and they sway and rustle gently in the night breeze like a gentle nocturne. Among them, what attracted Su Lin's attention the most was the central area, which was surrounded by hundreds of flowers, like the gorgeous and exotic flowers of the King of Flowers. The flower stalk is 3 or 4 meters high. The corolla has various colors, which change in the night and emit a hazy halo, as if covered by a mysterious veil. The fragrance of flowers becomes more fresh and elegant under the night breeze. A whisper, as if someone had just woken up, came from the corolla that was as big as a wedding room. Well, who is it? It disturbs my peace so late at night. The huge flower bloomed quietly, and the color of the petals appeared particularly soft under the moonlight, presenting a unique charm. At this time, the flower fairy slowly woke up from the flower bed, opened her bright eyes with a hint of anger. She wore a fitted and elegant dress with a flowing hem, embroidered with various flower patterns, showing a touch of elegance and innocence. I was just about to say something, but when he saw Su Lin below, he suddenly paused. Her star-like eyes sparkle with novelty and surprise. Mirabelle gently rose from the flower bud. Her body still seemed to be moistened by the night dew, making her look even more fresh and attractive. You disturbed my peace. The words seemed like an accusation, but looking at her teasing expression, it seemed more like she was flirting with Su Lin. So how can I make up for it? Su Lin asked. Mirabelle pondered for a while, then smiled and said, Then I will punish you by making me fall asleep. She stared at Su Lin's face and even licked her lips secretly. Su Lin burst out laughing. Before he could speak, Mirabelle couldn't wait to stretch out her little hand and wave it in the air. In an instant, a night breeze carrying elegant floral fragrance carried Su Lin into the flower nest. Then I'll tell you a story. Su Lin put his arms around her graceful waist and lay down with her on the soft flower bed. What story? What's it about? Mirabelle tilted her head and blinked. That beautiful and delicate face seemed to intoxicate everything around it. On a rainy night, I brought a knife but no umbrella, Su Lin said without blushing or beating his heart. It's a bedtime story about love, action, and comfort. On a rainy night, with a knife but no umbrella. Mirabelle muttered to herself. What a strange name. Why bring a knife instead of an umbrella when it rains? Are you going to fight? However, listening to Su Lin's description, it seemed like a very comfortable love story. Mirabelle showed great interest. As Su Lin began to speak, a blush appeared on Mirabelle's cheeks. He rolled his eyes at Su Lin in anger. Then the petals closed, as if closing the door and drawing the curtains for a newlywed couple. In an instant, hundreds of flowers bloomed, emitting various fragrant aromas. The sea of flowers blooms in the night, as if celebrating the growth of the flower fairy and offering her all the love and warmth. What? Real world? Su Lin's live broadcast room soon attracted hundreds of millions of viewers from all over the world. As time goes by, it rises like a rocket. No high-end and advanced server in the world can support such a large number of viewers. Only a matchmaking game that is unpredictable can be like this. Even if billions of people from all over the world enter a live broadcast room at the same time, there will be no pressure at all. When I saw Su Lin in the live broadcast screen, in the wedding scene, the English people were boiling with excitement. Flowers, plants, and night. This scene is very similar to the wedding of our Viscount Albert. Could it be that the partner Su Lin met this time was also a big slug? They cursed viciously, until I saw the huge flower that looked like the King of Flowers. The English people were stunned, but they quickly recovered and started to mock. Isn't it a big slug? Ha ha, it should be the giant carnivorous plant. This is the second partner of the Yan people. Human greed is like a snake swallowing an elephant. The poor little monkey is about to be eaten by this terrible carnivorous plant. Before the Yan people could open their mouths to refute. Immediately following, a hint for the matchmaking game appeared on the screen. You have entered the marriage room and can choose to marry the flower fairy woman Mirabelle. Flowers, flower fairies. At this moment, the English people felt their minds go blank. If I remember correctly, they had previously had such fantasies about Viscount Albert's marriage partner. As a result, the fantasy was shattered. Even though Albert endured the humiliation and successfully completed the marriage ceremony, he made the entire nation sticky. If you ask what color the glory of the British Empire was, it would be difficult to find the answer. But if you ask about the quality of the noble British master, the answer must be greasy. The English people are almost driven crazy by this damn sticky +3 reward. No, it's impossible he can't be so lucky. It's probably just a nice name. Who knows what kind of ugly and disgusting monster this flower fairy is? Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. However, when the exotic flowers bloom, the petals open. The flower fairy Mirabelle dances lightly with the sea of flowers, and her beautiful face seems to make all the flowers lose their color. All the questioning and sarcastic voices stopped. Even the people of Yan were amazed. She is so beautiful. Everyone's brain froze. Even the poets known for their literary talent could not find any poem to describe it for a moment. It seems that all the gorgeous words have pale in comparison. The silence was broken only when Su Lin said that it was better to bring a knife than an umbrella on a rainy night. The people of Yan couldn't help laughing. I suspect that Su Shen was driving, and I have irrefutable proof because the wheel marks were on my face. If it were me, I would probably feel so inferior when I saw the flower fairy that I couldn't even raise my head. You are worthy of being called God, Su. You still have the fortitude to make a joke. Why is the greasy man from England silent? Could it be that his defense has been broken? No way. Yan country player Su Lin is holding a marriage ceremony with the flower fairy, Mila Bell. The following scene is not suitable for playback and the system automatically blocks it. Yan people, wow, you can pick up fairies while driving openly. I've learned it. I'll try it out on my goddess. Besides carrying a knife on a rainy night, I also know a lot of love action stories snickering. If you don't have God's life, it's best not to get God's disease. I advise you not to do this. / Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, JPG. Kid, the water is deep here, you can't control it. Give me the goddess's contact information. I am the Yangtze River, I am not afraid of water. The people of Yan cheered. Compared with it, the faces of the English people looked as if they had eaten a giant slug, as ugly as it could be. So, P.S. Thanks again to Chinese letter, 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 for the 1666 Dianu coins reward ~. Chapter 27, Identity Change, Dark Queen Mirabelle. The wedding ceremony lasted until 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, since I brought Ellie in yesterday. In addition to eating and fighting monsters, Su Lin spent almost all his time practicing skills with Ellie. The reason why he could engage in high-intensity battle with the greedy Mirabelle was not because he had eaten the bunch of grapes that were a kidney-boosting fruit. The key lies in the flower fairy's auxiliary ability. Name Mirabelle. Race Flower Fairy. Grade D+. Psychic Power 900. Talent Flower Fairy D+. Skill Flower Language Blue LV2. Combat Power Assessment. Mirabelle's innate skills seem simple at first glance. In fact, the scope is very broad. For example, resting in this flower nest can quickly restore your physical strength and refresh your spirit. Allow Su Lin to maintain high combat effectiveness all night long. The flower fairy has the talent to communicate with plants and sense their needs and feelings. It can also use its own spiritual power to provide energy to plants and help them grow quickly. Vice versa, you can absorb the energy of plants and transfer it to yourself or others for healing. It has its own healing ability, but it is more than just a nurse. In combat, flower language has many uses. Control plants to act according to her will, attack and defend. Some special plant seeds can also be transformed and evolved into plant warriors that can be summoned at any time to assist her in battle. No wonder the matchmaking game rates her highly. It combines farming plus nursing plus control plus summoning into one, destined to be an extremely powerful auxiliary existence. And just at this moment, Su Lin let out a light exclamation. Why does it feel like Mirabelle's figure seems a little bigger? If you were to say that Mirabelle looked like a young girl of 18 or 19, when we first met her. At this moment, her figure and expression are well-proportioned, sexy and charming, like a queen, full of feminine charm and elegance. "What are you looking at, little brother?" Mirabelle lightly lifted Su Lin's chin with her jade finger, the corners of her mouth slightly raised with a hint of teasing. You said that my sister has become more beautiful," Mirabelle chuckled. "Maybe it's because my brother has nourished my sister, which makes her feel more comfortable physically and mentally." "Su Lin, why do I feel like your driving skills are better than mine?" She was clearly a naive and innocent fairy who was not tainted by the worldly atmosphere before. Now she has become a sinister queen. "This is really marvelous. It feels like marrying two wives at the same time, making a lot of money. It's the talent of your flower fairy clan. You can adjust yourself according to the influence of other environments." Su Lin suddenly thought of this. "That's right." Mirabelle stretched her arms lazily. "The snow-capped mountains are tall, majestic, and majestic. The scenery is very beautiful." Su Lin immediately became interested. Just like flowers, the more nutrients they absorb, the better their condition, and the more mature and beautiful their appearance will be. If the condition is poor, the true form that is revealed may be immature. In other words, Su Lin can experience the beauty of all ages. Hearing this, the scheming Queen Mirabelle obviously heard the hidden meaning in Su Lin's words. Pinching Su Lin's ears, the red lips came close to his ear and lowered the voice. "Don't think I don't know what you're thinking. Do you want to call me sister or what? Or do you want me to call you daddy?" As she spoke softly, the jade hand that was pinching Su Lin's ear gradually gained strength. Until the end, he even bit Su Lin's ear. Su Lin couldn't stand it anymore. Fortunately, the reminder of the marriage game appeared in time to help him out. When the golden wind and jade do meet, it is better than countless things in the world. Congratulations to Yan Country player, Su Lin, and flower fairy woman, Mi La Belle, for successfully completing the marriage ceremony. You have received the following rewards. Talent, Flower Fairy's Gift D+, Skills. Flower Fairy Blue, Spiritual Essence Pill C x10, Charm +10. Gift of the Flower Fairy, D+. Your physical, mental, and self-healing recovery speed increases by 40%. Gain Talent. The next second, Su Lin was revived with full health and full of energy. As for the marriage rewards of national civilization, still the same. Because the Yan Country player, Su Lin, got married, the whole world celebrates, and now the Yanhuang civilization is issuing marriage rewards. All citizens of the Yanhuang civilization gain Constitution +3, Health +5, Charm +1. Those who do not meet the threshold set by the player, Su Lin, will not be rewarded. In the flower room, Mirabelle's eyes were slightly hot. This stinky little brother seems to become more and more attractive the more I look at him. Especially the smell on his body, which is not smelly at all, but has a faint and unusual appeal. Mirabelle's appetite was aroused, and she wanted to eat Su Lin whole. "Tell my sister when it rains, do you carry a knife or an umbrella?" Mirabelle lay on Su Lin, with a provocative look in her beautiful eyes. "I choose to take you home." Su Lin casually tapped the petals, and the closed petals suddenly opened. Possessing the talent of the flower fairy, he can control plants like Mirabelle, the flower fairy. Then he held Mirabelle's soft and boneless waist, stood up from the flower bed, and slowly landed on the ground. In fact, Su Lin also wanted to teach Mirabelle, who had just changed her job into a sinister queen, a lesson. But he sensed that little Ellie in his home had awakened. "I was anxiously looking for Su Lin in the wooden house. But you can't forget your old love just because you have a new one." "What? Real world?" The global broadcast sounded, and the Yan state civilization was rewarded again. Physical fitness and health are enhanced. Physical strength and power have been improved, while health has been improved by improving the immune system. Some common colds are basically difficult to catch. In the long run, if Su Lin marries a few more prostitutes, Yan Country's pharmacies might have to close down. Great news, I'm erect again. I'm so confused by the first sentence. "I remember you. You are the brother Boki from last time. Your male function has been restored, so why are you doing it again?" "Brother Boki, oh, don't mention it. I couldn't help it and rewarded him too much, so." "Everyone, you've destroyed Jill in less than 2 days. You're awesome. Your pursuit of rewards really makes us ashamed. I admire you. A cigarette to the boss, JPG." Brother fired JPG. Players from all over the world, regardless of whether their marriage partners are good or bad, beautiful or ugly, can successfully hold the ceremony, which is considered excellent and worthy of national celebration. and Su Shen got 2 partners in just 3 days. But each one is more beautiful than the other. This ability is truly a role model for our generation. And just at this moment, a piece of news appeared, attracting a lot of people's attention. Bangkok player Park Kwon-tao is ready to enter the marriage room. Korean country. We have seen them popping up frequently on the Yan Country channel these days. The speech is still as usual. You can't spit out ivory from a dog's mouth. It's just that the people of Yan only pay attention to the updates of God Su or read the major news of other countries. I didn't bother to pay attention to them. Unexpectedly, on the last day of the novice period, the Korean players finally couldn't hold back any longer. Chapter 28, Petty Korean Players. The Korean player is named Park Kwon-tao. He was in his 20s and looked a little gloomy, standing in front of the marriage room, hesitating. People in South Korea left messages of encouragement. I hope Park Kwon-tao can win rewards for South Korea. Final. Park Kwon-tao took a deep breath, pushed open the door of the bridal chamber with trembling hands. Oppa is so brave. As expected of a man from the great cold nether country, he is full of courage. Of course, we are not the useless people in Sakura country who do nothing but sleep all day long. We Koreans won this time. I've been annoyed by the discussion of Su Lin by the Yan people these days. It's finally our Koreans' turn to show our might. Haha, when we get the reward, let other countries be envious. The Koreans collectively experienced a cerebral orgasm under their expectant gaze. In the picture, the marriage space is located under a towering tree. Park Kwon-tao was standing on a branch as thick as a path and as wide as a tree, looking around curiously. He was naturally aware that the partner in the marriage room was completely random and uncertain. At first, I also had a bad attitude, waiting to be eliminated after the novice period. Only, he is unwilling to accept it. I am unwilling to be a slave at the bottom of society all my life in a country like South Korea, where class stratification is serious, and there is no chance of getting ahead. Even if today is the last day of the novice protection period, as long as you have a marriage partner, you will not be eliminated from the game even if you do not open a random room. It's just that some individuals are punished. That's what he thinks. You have entered the marriage room and can choose to be a partner with the female demon mantis, Yeahua. As the prompt of the marriage game appears, a bright figure jumped from the treetops and appeared in front of Park Kwon-tao. At this moment, the Korean people who were originally excited were suddenly stunned. Mantis. It's a bug, it's so big. It must be 3 or 4 meters long, right? Why is it like this, old ma? Kwon-tao, hold on, don't give up, or our country will be in trouble. The more happily you shouted just now, the more embarrassed you feel now. This scene. This reminded them of the first player who entered the marriage room, the UA player Ryuan Yuzu. The marriage partner of this fool is a giant locust. Because he refused to marry and verbally abused him, the locust woman became furious and ate him on the spot. Brought a locust plague to the kingdom of UA. Come and hold a marriage ceremony with me. The demon mantis woman named Yeahua is very direct. She has a very pleasant voice, and her appearance is brightly colored with light and dark patterns. To entomologists, this demon mantis is very ornamental, but if you mate with her as a marriage partner, it would be very unconventional and heavy. However, unexpectedly, after struggling for a few seconds, Park Kwon-tao actually agreed. This made the Korean people breathe a sigh of relief. Many people expressed their admiration that Park Kwon-tao is a real man and did not bring shame to the Korean country. He also mocked the kingdom of UA. Immediately following, the screen went black. It means that the 2 parties are holding a marriage ceremony. It didn't take very long. It was over in 2 or 3 minutes. This made the Yan people who had just arrived at the live broadcast room a little confused. Aside from undressing and dressing, straightening the toothpick, and tidying up afterwards, the process of picking your teeth with a toothpick is expected to take no more than a minute. Speed is of the essence in war, right? What do you Yan people know? When faced with partners of different species, those who dare to try are the best. Park Kwon-tao is fighting for the dignity of our country. He is not like Su Lin from your country, who is obsessed with women all day long and is hopeless. The Korean people are broken, but there was a hint of sourness in their tone. Then, Park Kwon-tao also received an individual award. I feel like my physical strength has improved a lot. Just about to check it out, but the civilized marriage reminder of the marriage game interrupted his thoughts. Remind him that he can set thresholds in advance before issuing rewards. Why should I be the only one to suffer while you bunch of cattle and horses sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Park Kwon-tao sneered. He then gave instructions for the matchmaking game. Setting successful. Because the Korean player Park Kwon-tao refused to issue it, the country's civilization marriage reward was cancelled. What? Not only the Korean people were shocked, even people in other countries who were watching the live broadcast were confused by this decision. I never expected Park Kwon-tao to do such a thing. I'm going to swear at you, Park Kwon-tao, you are a born. Even if you set some moral standards like Su Lin from Yan country, it would be fine to prevent those damn chaebols from getting it. Why make things difficult for ordinary people like you? So selfish. This is the disgusting face of our Korean men. Not only are they stingy, they are also short. The Koreans collectively broke down their defenses, not even in the mood to pay attention to the boxer's ridicule, and greeted Park Kwon-tao's 18 generations of ancestors. Audiences from all over the world looked at each other in bewilderment. As expected, Korean men are known for being petty. This operation is really too low. Park Kwon-tao naturally ignored the people's abuse. At this time, he was even immersed in the dream of finding a partner and becoming the king in the future. Although it is a mantis, it is very powerful after all. What's more, he has a good personality and is very obedient. I didn't blame him for his poor performance just now. But the next scene made him terrified. The demon mantis chopped off one of his thighs without giving any explanation. He put it in his mouth and chewed it, looking very enjoyable. Park Kwon-tao screamed and asked loudly, but the latter looked contented. My dear, I am doing this for the purpose of breeding our offspring. The demon mantis looked at him lovingly, with extraordinary tenderness, and its emotions didn't seem fake at all. And at this time, Park Kwon-tao seemed to realize something, and looked suddenly at the talent reward he had obtained. Feed the master with your body, D. After mating with a female demon mantis, your body functions will be instantly stimulated to the maximum, turning into the most suitable nutrient for the demon mantis, so as to better breed offspring. This is the nature of the female praying mantis. Even the demon mantis clan is like this. However, the evolution of organisms is amazing. The male mantises have long evolved detachable reproductive organs. During mating, the small prop will remain inside the female mantis body, then run away as quickly as possible when the other party is not paying attention. Park Kwon-tao obviously doesn't have this ability. Even if there was, as a Korean quick shooter, he would not have enough time to escape. And the most important point is, even if you can escape successfully, the gift of feeding his master with his own body has stimulated all his potential. In no more than an hour, he would die due to the decline of his body functions. Due to the death of the Korean player, Park Kwon-tao, the country's civilization will be subject to targeted punishment in 10 minutes. I hope everyone will take this as a warning. P.S. No eunuchs. I just finished dealing with family matters and there will be another chapter later. Love you. Chapter 29, Escape Room. I can see the hidden clues. When he met the demon mantis woman, Park Kwon-tao's death was inevitable. The Koreans are going crazy. Even though you are dead, at least you left behind a reward of civilized marriage, and I will still remember your kindness. But you are so selfish that you don't even want to give me a bonus. It also brought a disaster to South Korea. The attacks on Park Kwon-tao have already spread to his parents, family members, relatives, and friends. Anyone who had anything to do with him was cyberbullied. Park Kwon-tao's family has a lot to report. Who would have thought that I would raise such an ungrateful person? He even excluded his biological parents, who had raised him with great difficulty. He only has himself in his eyes. This is no longer selfishness. It is simply an evil style, a pure revenge against society that harms others and does not benefit oneself. Next, the punishment for the Korean country is, the function of Korean men's sex organs has declined, and they will be hated and despised by women in their own country. The former is easy to understand, both in terms of kidneys and duration. Size, length will all be affected. As for the latter, it makes the already serious conflict problem in South Korea even more acute and intensified. The people of Yan just glanced at it quickly and lost interest. Compared to the Korean episode, the people of Yan just glanced at it quickly and lost interest. Compared to the Korean episode, they were more concerned about Su Shen's next move, especially when I thought that God Su brought back another flower fairy. When I met Bunny Ellie, would that scene be a sure scene? When some Yan country viewers returned to Su Lin's live broadcast room, surprised to find out. At this time, Su Shen was hugging women on both sides and getting along very harmoniously with the two women. What happened? Just came back from the live broadcast room in South Korea. Do you want to review what happened before? It's just that God Sue brought the flower fairy back to see Rabbit. First it was like this, then it was like that, and then it was like that again, and it was done. I see it suddenly dawned on me, JPG. An outstanding man needs not only excellent skills, but also excellent eloquence. / Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, JPG. A fine word of eloquence, squinting smile. Open the properties panel. In the wooden house, Su Lin said secretly. Player Su Lin. Subordinate, Yanhuang Civilization, Yan State. Grade C. Psychic Power, 1400. Talent, Flower Fairy's Gift, C. Speed Talent, C. Skills, Flower Fairy Blue, LV1, Wave / Green, LV4. Charm, 28. Combat Power Assessment. This is the result of swallowing 5 C-grade Lingyuan pills. 3 of them were given to Ellie, allowing her to advance from D rank to C rank. Mirabelle herself is already at D+ level, and she broke through after taking 1 Lingyuan pill. Giving her another one is to consolidate her good state. Currently, her psychic power is the same as Ellie's. Both are 1200. Try to be fair. Fortunately, Su Lin didn't have to worry about his 2 wives, who understood the pattern of the marriage game and did not show any jealousy or unhappiness. Little Ellie was very curious about the Flower Fairy clan and was asking Mirabelle all sorts of questions. When they saw Su Lin walk to the silver door, the 2 women immediately ended their conversation, fearing that he might be in danger. Choose to enter the random room number 4, decrypt the scene, and escape the secret room. Mirabelle used the flower language technique, and an emerald halo suddenly appeared over the 3 of them. This is a defense buff. Then he carefully added speed buff and attack buff. Take precautions before they happen. Player Su Lin, please note that you have entered the puzzle room escape room. Rules: find the key to open the secret room within 5 minutes. Once the time is up, the secret room will be injected with highly toxic gas. Open your eyes again. Su Lin found that his left arm was firmly tied to the wall with an iron chain. The chain was short and engraved with unknown patterns. The length was also very short, which restricted Su Lin's movements. The same thing happened to Ellie and Mirabelle, who were tied up with chains. The difference is, next to Su Lin, there was a machete stained with black blood. The buff effect disappeared. Mirabelle was surprised and said, "Moreover, this chain not only can imprison spiritual energy, but also restricts my strength." Me too, Ellie was a little flustered. I feel so weak. The Yan people who were watching the live broadcast were also shocked. What kind of a weird room is this? A random room can also be used to play escape room. A knockoff of Saw, right? If you don't have a chance to play the matchmaking game, just bite a lighter to entertain everyone. There's no need to be so disgusting. The only solution is to cut off one's arm, but it would be painful to ask Su Shen to cut off one of his arms. This is just a prerequisite. The most important thing is to find the key after you escape. There are so many things in the secret room, and there are only 5 minutes. It's not enough time. Don't panic. Even if we fail, we'll just be facing poisonous gas. With the strength of Su Shen, Tutu, and Mirabelle, we should be able to handle it. But there was one thing he didn't add. That is, there is no certainty as to the toxicity of the gas and how long it will last. It is not even clear whether you can return home after failing the game, or be trapped in the secret room and suffer from poison gas attacks forever until death. The people of Yan were extremely anxious, and their attention was highly focused on Su Lin's safety, and they were very uneasy. This scene, when other countries that were already jealous of Yan country saw this, they were immediately overjoyed. Haha, you guys have been showing off these past few days, now you're getting your comeuppance. IP, Sakura country. Stupid monkeys are like this. They are always dissatisfied with the status quo. They only think about the benefits and not the dangers. They deserve it. IP, England. What a pity for the bunny-eared girl and the flower fairy. IP, Korean. Waste men are so disgusting. Why didn't you guys die? I'm so sad about what happened to Su Shen Oppa. It's a pity for such a handsome and charming man. / crying. IP, Korean girl. The people of Yan are in a very heavy mood, feeling helpless and powerless. At the same time, I feel strong anger and dissatisfaction towards these cold sarcasm. But especially at this time, the more we need to stay calm. He used his brain and raced against time to find a solution for Su Lin's current situation. Well, when Su Lin saw the hidden hint, his expression suddenly became strange. Most people faced with this kind of situation would have already become panic-stricken, even out of control of their emotions, becoming anxious and wasting their precious time. Those with a stronger and more ruthless character would choose to take drastic measures, escape first, and then rush to find the key to escape the secret room. Hidden hint 1. The poison gas will kill you within a minute. Hidden hint 2. The chain key is hidden in your pants pocket. There was only a click sound. The chain around his left arm came loose. Under everyone's shocked gaze, Su Lin immediately stood up. Shake the keys in your hand. Came in front of Ellie and Mirabelle. Hidden hint, Ellie's chain key is hidden in her shoe. Hidden hint, Mirabelle's chain key is hidden in the collar of her shirt. Chapter 30 Perfect Review, Rare Treasure Box. When they saw Su Lin easily find the key and open the chain, the audience in the live broadcast room fell silent instantly. The shock was beyond words. For a moment, the room was filled with all kinds of exclamations and doubts. "Where did you find the key?" Mirabelle asked. Su Lin patted his jacket pocket and explained, "Since this is a puzzle room, the key is to solve the puzzle. Violent means of breaking the puzzle will not work." Even after breaking free from the chains, Su Lin found that his own strength was still restricted. In other words, as long as you are in this secret room, you are just like an ordinary person. You can only use your brain and find the answer from clues. For example, at the beginning, he is trapped in chains with only a machete next to him. There was still dried blood on the blade. There is also a 5-minute time limit, forcing you to make a decision as quickly as possible. It is misleading you. Only by making decisive moves when necessary can you escape from the predicament and resume action. If an ordinary person encountered this situation, he would panic and lose his mind, and his brain would not have time to think. He would never have thought that there was a key to the chain, and it was hidden on his body. This is what is called the darkest place under the lamp. Mirabelle was thoughtful. "I see," she looked enlightened. "You are the only one with a knife, but Ellie and I don't. If they really wanted to survive by cutting off their arms, then there should be a machete next to the three of us. So that's why you realized that the key to unlock the chain is hidden on us." Forehead. Su Lin responded with an awkward yet polite smile. "Are you self-degrading?" But when Mirabelle saw this smile, she mistakenly thought it was a sign of Su Lin's confidence. "I, too, seem to have discovered where the key is." Infected by Su Lin's smile, Mirabelle regained her composure, noticed something unusual about her collar, and looked a little embarrassed. She straightened her towering and plump breasts and said timidly, "Help me untie it." It felt slippery to the touch, and Su Lin easily found the key and helped Mirabelle untie the chains. The footage during the process was automatically blocked by the system, and the audience did not see this scene. He was still in shock that Su Lin had escaped. "I see. Godsu is so amazing that he was able to find clues in such a short time. But I think the Flower Fairy's explanation is a bit far-fetched. Even if there is only one machete after Su Shen escapes, he can chop Ellie and the Flower Fairy again. This is also a way to break the deadlock. Proof of the truth, huh? What kind of behavior? Maybe because only Su Shen is a player, and Tutu and Huixian are partners, so the choice is in Su Shen's hands. Let's see if he dares to be cruel. Your explanation doesn't make sense. If the puzzle room really favors players, why not just restrict partners from entering the room and let Su Shen play the game alone? Why bother? Therefore, all the settings in the puzzle room are meaningful. In any case, Su Shen new beer is finished. The people of Yan admire Su Lin's intelligence and talent, and are generous in their praise. Ellie pricked up her ears and listened carefully, her bright eyes full of admiration. "Honey, my keys seem to be hidden in my shoes." She shook her little feet, looking shy. Just like Mirabelle, this abnormality should have been discovered from the beginning. It was just that he had just entered the dangerous situation, and was so panicked that he failed to notice the unusual details at the first time. Take off little Ellie's shoes, revealing her white and delicate feet. If it were during his daily leisure time, Su Lin would definitely not be able to help but play with it for a while and savor its beauty. Things have their priorities. Finish your work first, wait for the escape room to be over, and then go home to enjoy the delicious ice cream. Hidden tip: the faster you complete the challenge, the richer the treasure chest reward. There was only one iron door in the secret room, which was also engraved with mysterious patterns and glowed with a dim light. Ellie went over and tried to kick it a few times, but it didn't move at all and seemed very sturdy. "It seems that I need to find the iron door key to complete the challenge. The secret room is not large, only about 60 square meters. There were some debris and a few corpses piled up on the left. Little Ellie was searching everywhere, hoping to find the key to the iron gate as soon as possible. In addition, there is a very tall wardrobe in the right corner. There's also a small locked wooden box on top. Looking closely, there were some black, bloody handprints on the surface of the wardrobe. The bloodstains on the small wooden box were especially obvious. Mirabelle was standing on tiptoe, stretching out her arms, trying to hook the wooden box down with her hands. With a click sound, the iron door of the secret room was suddenly opened. Mirabelle's, Ellie, all viewers. Looking back, Su Lin was standing in front of the iron gate. There was a strange key as long and narrow as a stick in the door lock. What's going on? What happened just now? No, the camera wasn't on Su Shen just now. It was focused on Bunny and Flower Fairy. It's the bloody machete. Look at the handle, there's a switch that can be turned on, and the key to the iron door is hidden inside. The machete was placed at Su Lin's feet, and the end of the handle was opened like a bottle cap. As the camera zooms in, the space in the handle of the knife is just enough to hide the key to the iron door. Shit, the key is really in the handle. Another sleight of hand. This machete is not for cutting oneself, but is intended to mislead people into making a judgment. Even if you are determined to cut off your arm, the pain will make you lose your mind, and you will only think that the key to the iron door is most likely hidden in the sundries or in the box on the closet. It's a waste of precious time. Who could have guessed that the real chance of salvation is hidden in this weapon that can take your life? It's all linked together. Isn't this puzzle room too damn sinister? Mirabelle, you make me look stupid, / doghead funny, JPG. Ellie Abaobas / dementia, JPG. Let alone the Flower Fairy and the rabbit. Any one of us would not be able to figure this out in a short period of time. The audience was shocked again and exclaimed in amazement. And the matchmaking game obviously did not expect Su Lin to be able to solve the mystery in such a short time. It wasn't until a few seconds later that the system prompt came. Congratulations to player Su Lin for successfully completing the puzzle room escape game. Evaluation perfect. A light suddenly shone in the secret room. When the light faded, a large blue treasure chest appeared out of thin air. Name, rare treasure box. Grade C+. Quality blue up. Star rating. Features, puzzle room escape room game reward. Rare blue quality treasures are stored inside. So, P.S. Thanks again to A-Leaf can block one's view of the mountain for his reward. He spends money every day, and I am deeply honored. I can only live up to his kindness by working hard to update. Love you, ___. Chapter 31. Flowing clouds follow the wind, one mind and one mind. There are corpses everywhere in the sundries area. If the key to the iron door is really hidden here, there shouldn't be so many dead bones. The wooden boxes on top of the wardrobe all have bloody handprints on them, which just proves that this is also the wrong option. Neither place is the correct answer. The only thing that might be suspicious is this machete. Mirabelle came to her senses afterwards and gradually headed towards Daihua. She would never have thought that her wise, brave, witty, and calm great talent Su Lin was actually a cheater. Ellie's attention was completely attracted by the treasure chest. He licked his lips, rubbed his hands, and looked eager to try. Opening treasure chests seems to be some kind of hobby of the little rabbit. She stared at Su Lin with her big, watery eyes, and her two little hands' index fingers crossed and spun in circles. Although he didn't say anything, his meaning was self-evident. Go ahead. Su Lin suddenly found it funny. Great, Ellie's eyes lit up. She is innocent by nature, and was as happy as if she had got her favorite toy. Well, do you want to try it too? Ellie turned around and said to Mirabelle, let's go together. After all, little Bunny is Su Lin's first wife. As the eldest wife, since she accepted Mirabelle's arrival, she naturally had to show the magnanimity of a mistress and take care of her younger sister's feelings. Mirabelle was startled, then smiled. Okay. Although they have not been together for a long time, she also has a good impression of the lively and simple Ellie. Standing dignifiedly in front of the treasure chest, the two girls stretched out their hands at the same time and opened the treasure chest together. Then a flash of light appeared. System prompts sounded one after another. You have obtained Home Upgrade Card Red Maple Courtyard Villa. You have obtained Building Card Attached Spiritual Field. You obtained Armor Flowing Cloud Boots. You have obtained Special Item Concentric Ring. You got Special Item Storage Bracelet. This wave of great harvest. It seems that both women have some European attributes. Su Lin looked carefully. As the name suggests, the home upgrade card is to upgrade the initial home cabin into a luxurious villa. However, the novice period has not yet ended, and like the affiliated spiritual field, it is currently in a frozen state and cannot be used. Let's skip this for now. As for the flowing cloud boots and the concentric ring, Su Lin picked them up and took a look, and the attribute panel immediately appeared in front of him. Name: flowing cloud boots. Type: armor. Grade C. Quality: rare blue. Stars. Features: flowing cloud. When worn, a cloud of flowing clouds will appear under the feet, allowing the wearer to stay in the air for a short period of time. Follow the wind can greatly increase the wearer's movement speed. Name: heart ring. Type: special props. Grade C+. Quality: rare blue. Star rating. Features: one heart and one body. The main ring can be divided into several secondary rings. One mind and one intention. The holder of the secondary ring can communicate with the holder of the main ring. There is also a storage bracelet, which is also of rare quality. The functions are just like those in fairy tale novels, and the shape is very delicate. It will not get in the way whether you wear it on your wrist or hide it in your pocket. Wow, there are so many good things. Ellie's excited heart was like boiling water, about to overflow. Even when Mirabelle was in her queenly state, her eyes were glowing. Let's go home first. Su Lin packed the reward in his storage bracelet, took the two girls, passed through the iron door of the secret room, and returned to his wooden house. Random room number 4 is closed, and the silver light dims, proving that the escape room has been completed. First, there is the heart-shaped ring, which is the same size as an ordinary ring and has a heart-shaped pattern engraved on it. Su Lin wore it on the ring finger of his left hand. Then he pulled Ellie's right hand and tapped her ring finger lightly. A pink light emerged from the main ring and lingered on to form a secondary ring, but there was only one heart-shaped pattern, meaning that her heart only belonged to Su Lin. Follow the same method and get a secondary ring for Mirabelle. A sweet feeling came over my heart, and I can't describe my inner feelings in words. But Su Lin was able to instantly understand what the two women were thinking, and they understood each other's thoughts. A look, a heartbeat, a smile can interpret what the other person is thinking. This is what is called being of one accord. What is ice cream? Ellie tilted her head and asked in confusion. Where is ice cream on me? Is it something delicious? Not only ice cream, this little pervert also wants to eat peaches. Mirabelle crossed her arms and stared at Su Lin with a half-smile. Peach? Ellie was confused. Why is Mirabelle a peach and I am a rabbit? 2 bunnies and 2 ice cream cones. Even though Su Lin was thick-skinned, he still felt a little uncomfortable with what Mirabelle said. Damn it. This is definitely a side effect of the Unity Ring. Even the fleeting thought that just flashed through my mind was captured by the other party. Humph. Since you guys have seen through me, I might as well stop pretending. Yan Country player Su Lin is performing a ceremony. The following scene is not suitable for playback, and the system automatically blocks it. Forehead. The audience in the live broadcast room stared in amazement. We were just sharing a ring and chatting about ice cream, fruit, etc. Why did the screen suddenly go black? But there are also some experienced old drivers who are laughing. Everything is implied. In the blink of an eye, it was afternoon. There are less than 8 hours left until the end of the novice period, except for some players who completely give up and abandon themselves. There are also a few players who choose to enter the marriage room for some reason. For example, the contestant from India named Mahar was born in a slum. They are also a low caste group under the Indian caste system. Not only do foreign people have a negative view of him, even in his own country, India, he has been subjected to all kinds of verbal attacks and insults in the past 2 days. How can we allow such lowly untouchables to represent our great India in the competition? This is really a disgrace to our great country of India. To participate, one must be a Brahmin noble, or at least a Kshatriya. This damned pariah has been staying in his room doing needlework these past few days. He is so useless and embarrassing. You should at least get into a bridal chamber. Maybe it was because Mater had been holding it in for the past 3 days, and he couldn't bear it any longer. Or holding some obscene thoughts. Under the attention of more than 1 billion people in India, he finally entered the marriage room. As for marriage partners, I don't know if it's because the Kingdom of India did so many inhumane things that it finally got its retribution. Mater's marriage partner turned out to be a female giant lizard, with a human-shaped lizard body. Tianju citizens. The old man on the subway looking at his phone emoji, JPG. Audiences from other countries. What the hell, third sister-in-law? As for Mater, he can be described as someone who eats both meat and vegetables. To put it simply, I have never eaten any good pork, and it is wrong to eat it at all. Without waiting for the giant lizard woman to speak, He couldn't wait to complete the ceremony with her. Although the process is very heavy and makes people lose their appetite, it is at least a marriage reward for the Kingdom of India. It's very touching. It is worthy of being the magical India. Chapter 32. A Faint Is Ellie Pregnant? After watching the live broadcast of Tianzhu player Mater, the audience just felt a little disgusted and uncomfortable, and there was no other excessive reaction. After all these days, there are the giant slugs from England as examples in front, and the giant chimpanzees from the United States as uncut gems behind. I'm somewhat immune to this. There was even a heated discussion on this matter on the Yan Country Forum. Finally came to the conclusion, under the setting of the marriage game, players from India have a great advantage. Even in a normally functioning modern society, the Indians in their country always make all kinds of weird news every now and then. Drinking cow urine and bathing in cow dung are basic exercises. Strong animals appear one after another. They even dared to rape pigs, horses, cows, sheep, dogs, and even monitor lizards. There was a saying circulating on the internet. Even if a mosquito passes by Tianzhu, it has to cover its buttocks and walk away. When it comes to matters without moral integrity or bottom line, you can absolutely trust Third Brother's ability. They will never let you down when it comes to making things happen. Even if the race of the randomly matched partner is strange or the appearance is ugly, the Indians can quickly get into the mood. This is an innate advantage that players from other countries do not have. In addition to Tianzhu's Mater, other players also made choices. You can choose to enter a random room or a matchmaking room. Some gained benefits and saved their lives, while others successfully held marriage ceremonies and won rich marriage rewards for their country. But those are just a few lucky ones. The vast majority of players don't have very good luck. News of deaths reported around the world came one after another, and various punishment projects came one after another. It's terrifying to watch, to the extent that the public has become more tolerant of those players who do nothing and just give up. For example, Sakura Country. Now their people's attitude towards Yusugi Natsumi is, we don't ask for your merits, but we ask for your no mistakes. Even if there is great social pressure, as long as the country does not fall into chaos and the status quo can be maintained, we will be satisfied. Only when disaster strikes do people often realize the fragility of life and the importance of peace. The boring life that you are tired of, and hate may very well be the paradise that countless people can hardly dream of. Naturally, Su Lin would not know about all the disturbances in the outside world. After a desperate fight, a lot of magic power was consumed. Finally, with his unremitting efforts, the two women burst into tears and repented. In order to make up for the sins he had committed, he personally made ice cream and peaches for Su Lin to taste, as an apology. I took a nice bath. As I walked out of the bathroom, I found little Ellie standing at the door, nervously clutching her clothes. This little rabbit is not learning his lesson. Is he peeping? What are you peeking at? No, nothing. Ellie looked a little uneasy. Su Lin held her in his arms and whispered in her ear, if you wanted to take a shower with your husband, why didn't you say so just now? Is it because Mirabelle was here and you were embarrassed to ask? The wet hair caressed Alamin's sensitive rabbit ears, making her itchy. I couldn't help but curl up my toes. She crossed her arms and hugged her body tightly, as if she had suddenly lost her strength, and leaned on Su Lin's warm chest. Don't do this. Ai Li exhaled softly and stammered. I have something serious to tell you. You say? Su Lin simply picked her up and sat on the sofa in the living room. This piece of furniture was made by Ellie herself. It is made of pure wood and covered with a layer of vegetation that Su Lin cannot name. It seems to have been specially treated by Ellie to ensure long-term use and is very soft to sit on. I think I'm pregnant. After Ellie said this, her face turned red and she buried her head in Su Lin's chest. Pregnant? Upon hearing this, Su Lin's restless little hands suddenly stopped. He lowered his head and looked intently at Ellie's belly. I don't know if it was an illusion, but I actually saw a slight bulge. Could it be that I'm going to be a father so soon? Su Lin couldn't help but feel a little excited. At this moment, Mirabelle, who heard the noise, happened to see this scene. Okay, I said I would wake up and not find anyone. So you two were eating in the living room behind my back. Mirabelle, wearing a loose nightgown, leaned against the bedroom door and smiled mischievously. No, I'm not eating secretly. Ellie raised her head and replied weakly, even if I want to eat, I will eat openly. Justified. Su Lin then explained to her that Ellie was pregnant. Really? Mirabelle's voice was filled with surprise, like a torrent rushing into her heart. Only, when Mirabelle curiously stepped forward to check, her expression suddenly became strange, hesitated to say something. But when she saw Ellie nestled in Su Lin's arms, her eyes were filled with anticipation and happiness. It is like the most beautiful poem, reading out joy, hope, and longing for the future. "How is it?" Su Lin asked. This, Mirabelle struggled and kept winking at Su Lin. Seeing this wooden lump looking like, "What are you talking about? And why are you making those eyes?" Mirabelle was immediately furious. "Ellie is not pregnant." These are the words that Mirabelle conveyed to Su Lin using the heart ring. Just now, while subduing demons in the bedroom, Master Su had an epiphany during the battle and had already mastered the use of the magic weapon, Tongsin Ring. Some distracting thoughts in your mind can be blocked out and not conveyed to your partner. Otherwise, there will be too many random thoughts flashing through a person's mind every second, which will burn up the CPU. "Not pregnant?" Su Lin was startled and signaled to Mirabelle with his eyes, looking at Ellie's lower abdomen. "This is a false pregnancy phenomenon among the rabbit people," Mirabelle explained. "As long as the rabbit females reach maturity, even if they have never mated, this situation may occur. Sister Ellie has only been an adult for a few months, and she has been doing bad things with you, a little pervert recently so, although she came in 1 day later than Ellie. But in Mirabelle's eyes, she always treated the innocent Ellie as her own sister. Especially, at this time, Mirabelle received a lot of care from Su Lin. There is a trend of transformation from a scheming queen to a beautiful older woman. There was even a loving, maternal glow in her eyes as she looked at Ellie. Su Lin suddenly had an idea. If the sun goes down, will Mirabelle evolve into a strange old woman? That shouldn't be the case, right? Mirabelle is a flower fairy, and aging will only occur when a flower is about to wither. With the nourishment from my sun and moon essence, Mirabelle's final form will only be frozen at the moment when a woman is the most charming. Ouch! Su Lin felt pain. Mirabelle's little hand avoided Ellie's sight and secretly pinched Su Lin's soft spot. "Su Lin, you are saying bad things about me in your heart, right? Who do you call the old witch, eh? Why, which tune do you like? Well, I'll sacrifice myself and become an old woman with bad teeth, so you can experience it to your heart's content." Su Lin, whose weak spot was pinched, had no words to grievance. "Damn it, I forgot to turn off the Tongsin Ring just now." Mirabelle actually heard these words. What to do? Waiting online, very urgent. Chapter 33, Pure Yang Grass Field, Earth Tiger Insect Monster. Should we tell Ellie about this? Mirabelle's voice was transmitted to Su Lin through the heart ring. "Let's keep it a secret for now." Su Lin lowered his head and glanced at Ellie in his arms. Being able to clearly see tears flashing in the other person's eyes, that is an incomparable joy that comes from the girl's heart. "Why is the little bunny crying?" Su Lin coaxed Ellie like a child, kissing her eyelids and licking off the crystal pearls. "Because I'm happy." Ellie leaned inward, close to Su Lin. Suddenly, I realized that there was something wrong with the sitting position. When did Mirabelle reach out her hand? "I was just using the talent of the Flower Fairy clan to help you recuperate." Mirabelle reacted very quickly and released Su Lin's weak spot. He placed his hand on Ellie's lower abdomen very naturally. "Thank you, Sister Flower Fairy." "No, you're welcome." Hearing this, Su Lin curled his lips secretly. It's just that Tutu is so naive that he actually believed your poor excuse. As soon as this thought came to his mind, he was met with Mirabelle's warning eyes. "That's not right. I had clearly turned off the Tongsin Ring just now. How did she know what I was thinking? Could it be that Mirabelle is really the worm in my stomach? Honey, should I make some small clothes in advance so that I can dress the baby up properly after he is born?" Well, come to think of it, it's too early to prepare now. We're not sure if the baby is a boy or a girl. Do you like boys or girls? Ellie's smile is like the spring sunshine, warm and bright. It seemed as if the whole world was infected by her joy. Like the sound of a lark, it is melodious and crisp, forming a sweet song full of hope and the promise of life. It's irresistible to be happy for her. I like everything that little Ellie has. Su Lin held her hand tightly. It could be twins, so little AI Lee needs to prepare 2 sets of clothes. Little Ellie was so happy. She put her arms around Su Lin's neck and gave him a sweet kiss, her face full of happiness. And just at this moment, Ellie finally noticed something was wrong with the position she was sitting in. Ellie has grown up, no longer as confused as when we first met. She twisted and turned shyly in Su Lin's arms, moving a few times, her cheeks burning with a bright blush. "You big bad guy, no. It will hurt the baby." Ellie blinked and said angrily. Su Lin felt a little embarrassed about this embarrassing situation. He secretly glared at Mirabelle, who was watching the fun and making trouble. If you hadn't caught my weak spot just now, how could I be so embarrassed at this warm moment? How long do you plan to keep it a secret? Mirabelle asked in her mind. Ellie's false pregnancy symptoms will probably end in a few days. How disappointed will Ellie be when she finds out the pregnancy is just an illusion? No problem, Su Lin said confidently. A few days is enough. Mirabelle's, get on the bus first and buy the ticket later. Mirabelle was suspicious. Can you do it? Su Lin, is it possible for you? Don't you know? It seems that the lesson is not enough. Just wait and see how I will deal with you. Upon hearing this, Mirabelle's legs couldn't help but tremble. But he still managed to hold on without showing any fear. It's still unclear who will take care of whom, little dog. Su Lin, who did you learn these words from? I learned it from you. Mirabelle giggled. You are a little bit of a pervert. You always like to talk nonsense when you are doing things. You have taught me a lot of experience. She put a little more emphasis on the word experience. Su Lin's heart burned with anger after hearing this. Xiao Yulin was so restless that he could hardly control himself. This was very hard for little Ellie in his arms, making her feel very uncomfortable. She pouted and looked at Su Lin pitifully. I hope he can be more peaceful. Experience, huh? Then take it. I'll give you as much experience as you want from this upgrade package. Don't just assume that I'm afraid of you, my enemy. It's too late to apologize now, so let's just happily decide. Mirabelle Sigma De. Next, it's time to get down to business. Yan Gu's live broadcast room also returned to normal. The audience flocked to the scene, watching Su Lin's every move. Even if Su Lin did nothing, it was very interesting to watch him interact with the rabbit and the flower fairy. This is much more interesting than watching TV series and variety shows. What's more, Su Lin's current wealth and status are extraordinary. His life and death, rise and fall, are related to the collective honor and disgrace of more than 1 billion people in the entire Dayan. It's hard not to attract attention. God Su is going to enter the random room again. Please, God Su, take a break and promise me you won't work so hard. You said so much, but you are still worried that Su Shen might be in danger and be implicated by the punishment of the marriage game. You are so hypocritical. Unlike me, I only feel sorry for my brother Tilda. The one upstairs, not in this barber shop. I can't keep my knife anymore. Quickly change her into the enemy's clothes. Random room number 1. Pure Yang grass field, guarded by a fierce beast that just broke through sea level. This is the information provided by Goldfinger. After Su Lin broke through the sea level, the danger warning disappeared. Ellie wanted to go with them, but Su Lin advised her to rest at home in the name of pregnancy. The little bunny nodded obediently and decided to go to the kitchen to prepare dinner in advance. The space scene is set in a vast mountain range. Hidden inside is a peaceful grass field, surrounded by mountains with clouds and mist shrouded above the mountains, like a landscape painting. The emerald green Chunyang grass swayed gracefully in the sunset, and each plant exuded a pure vitality. However, the appearance of Su Lin and Mirabelle broke this tranquility. There was a rustling sound. The sound was slight at first, then gradually became louder, and its source was from underground. Rise! Su Lin put his arms around Mirabelle's waist, and a cloud of mist appeared out of thin air under his feet, lifting the two of them up into the air. Long before entering the room, he had put on the pair of Liyun boots. It has the ability to ride on clouds and stay in the air for a short period of time. Boom tilde. The soil broke open, the ground rolled, and countless pieces of gravel flew everywhere. Suddenly, a giant caterpillar as big as a truck emerged from the ground. It has a plump body, and its green scales are sparkling. It was surging violently on the ground and making a hissing sound in its mouth, as if it was angry at the uninvited guest for disturbing the peace here. Under Su Lin's gaze, its information was clearly displayed. Name, Earth Tiger Insect Demon. Grade C. Psychic Power 1050. Combat Power Assessment. As expected, he had just broken through not long ago, and his spiritual energy was only over 1,000. You can easily torture it to death. Mirabelle even used the flower language technique instantly. She pointed her hand into the distance, and points of light sparkling with brilliant starlight floated down. The plants in the valley seemed to come alive at this moment. The vegetation grew wildly and continuously attacked the tiger insect monster. Thick vines as big as arms bound it like strong chains. Su Lin took out the deer horn sword from his storage bracelet and swooped down from mid-air. When they were close to the tiger insect monster, he let go of Mirabelle and sent her to a safe area where she landed safely. At this moment, Mirabelle did not forget to give Su Lin several buffs. With the blessing of the heart ring, the two sides cooperated seamlessly and had great tacit understanding. Buff! The sword tip pierced into the body of the earth tiger insect monster, and brown-green mucus spurted out. Under Su Lin's control, the deer-horned sword shook violently and took advantage of the momentum to launch a wave slash. Chapter 34. Encountering other players, the arrogant ink monkey. Su Lin's spiritual energy is 1400, and with the Liyun boots equipped, he can move around so fast that the earth tiger insect demon can't even get close to him. What's more, with Mirabelle's assistance, it's hard to lose this game. With just a few moves, he easily killed this sea-level earth tiger insect monster. "Look at you, you're so dirty," Mirabelle complained in the tone of a wife. With a wave of her hand, the juice from some nearby flowers and plants turned into Su Lin's bath water, helping him wash away the stickiness on his body. These are all the blood spurting out from the earth tiger insect monster. In close combat, it is inevitable that the stains will get on your clothes. Mirabelle seems to have a serious obsession with cleanliness. He washed Su Lin carefully several times, and was only satisfied after making sure that there was no dirt on his body. The people of Yan were obviously stunned by the extremely fast speed of killing. They were slow to react, and only reacted now. Holy crap, is this the end? I thought it was going to be a fight to the death. That big caterpillar attacked from underground. At first I thought it was very powerful, but it turned out to be a paper tiger. It looks good, but is useless. It's not that the enemy is too weak, but that Su Shen is too strong. I just read the information of that big insect. Its name is Earth Tiger Insect Monster, and it has sea-level strength. Sea-level? Wow, the strongest companion from other countries is definitely Mater from Tianzhu. The third sister-in-law of the giant lizard tribe has the strength of D+ level. I didn't expect that Su Shen could even kill a sea-level monster alone. Poor flowers and plants, they were just used as weapons by the flower fairies, and their juice was extracted to bathe God Su. It's a waste recycling. Flowers and grass. Although I am not a human, you are real dogs, squinting smile. Flowers and grasses, you are noble and great. You are using our lives to show your love, right? In the picture, Su Lin turned his attention to the Chunyang grass field. The live camera also switched along with his line of sight. Name, Pure Yang Grass Field. Type, spiritual plant. Quality, rare blue. Features, pure yang, replenishes yang energy, nourishes the kidneys. Nourishes growth, be prepared to harvest leeks, harvest one crop after another. Delicious, improve happiness index after consumption. Simply put, its efficacy is thousands of times stronger than that of leeks. It is really an expert in nourishing the kidneys. Su Lin was a little amused and helpless when he saw this. First, the bunch of grapes increased the happiness index with Ellie. Mirabelle's flower nest can also be used to restore strength, plus this enhanced version of Leek Plus. This allows me to go further in my pursuit of happiness. At this moment, Mirabelle let out a light exclamation. She moved her pink feet to the corpse of the ground tiger insect demon and looked at it carefully. The natural essence of this giant insect is very pure and can be used as nutrients for the growth of spiritual plants. Mirabelle said in surprise, "The earth tiger insect monster is a herbivorous monster that likes to eat spiritual plants to enhance its own strength. Where there are ground tiger insect monsters, there is a high probability that there will be spiritual plants nearby. For spiritual plants, it is an absolute pest. All things are interdependent and mutually exclusive. Every sip and every bite is determined by fate. Unexpectedly, after death, its corpse becomes the best nutrient for spiritual plants. It's really the cycle of cause and effect, and retribution will come." Mirabelle pointed at the corpse of the earth tiger insect demon. "Just see." Its body, which was as big as a truck, was shrinking rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye. Eventually, it condenses into a seed containing pure essence. Seed of life, one of the talent-derived skills of the Flower Fairy clan. Just like high-concentration harmless fertilizer, planting this seed of life in the spiritual field can not only nourish the spiritual plants, but also improve the soil environment of the spiritual field in disguise. I remember that we still have an attached spiritual field card, which can be used tomorrow. Mirabelle smiled very happily. The Flower Fairy clan is known as the gardeners of the goddess of nature. For Mirabelle, being a farmer and planting flowers, plants and trees is her greatest hobby. Mirabelle wanted to say something, but saw Su Lin suddenly shift his gaze to the back. He just received a golden finger prompt. "A player is approaching here." That's right, it's a human, not any other monster or creature from this space. To be precise, the other party is also a player from Earth. I just haven't come across it yet, so I'm not sure which country it is from. Lin Dajai is a player from India. He is thin and has dark skin, and looks like a monkey in the deep mountains and forests. He had no fixed job in the ink business, and usually did some petty thefts. After being chosen for the matchmaking game, I basically just spent the first 2 days fooling around. There was nothing remarkable about it. Apart from the attention of the people in India's own country, it did not attract people from other countries to watch the live broadcast. Obviously, from his point of view, he has no idea what reasonable distribution means. As early as the first day, the food and water supplies were used up. After being hungry for 2 days, I finally couldn't help but enter a random room today. He was just lucky enough to pick up a prop that he thought was a divine object. I hope this baby's guidance is correct. I'm almost starving to death. Touching the treasure in his arms, Lin Dajai quickly ran towards the valley in front of him. It can be seen that he cherishes this treasure very much and wraps it tightly with clothes, fearing that it will be bumped or damaged. When Lin Dajai came into the valley and saw the Chunyang grass field, surprise appeared in his eyes. Haha, the prediction was correct, but when he noticed the heroic and elegant man near the grass field, he was suddenly stunned. At the same time, Lin Dajai received a prompt from the system. When you meet other players, you can choose to make friends with them. Add each other as friends to form a team, chat, trade, etc. You can also choose to be hostile to them, and you can take away their items after killing them. Killing players will not be punished in the game. Player, Lin Dajai snorted coldly. With the treasure in his hand, he was full of confidence and no longer took players from other countries seriously. Hey, where are you from? Lin Dajai looked arrogant and shouted in a domineering manner. I wanted to see Su Lin's message, but all I saw were a bunch of question marks. Name, possession, grade. This is because the level difference is too big, so the system does not display it. Perhaps for some reason, he is a little mentally unclear now, or maybe this is just his personality. Didn't pay attention to such details. Audience members of Yangyuo's live broadcast room. Holy crap, I actually met players from other countries. I thought this was a stand-alone game, but it turned out to be an online game with interactive features. Who is this guy? How dare he speak to me, Su Shen, like that? His tone and expression make me want to slap him. The information shows that it's from Yinny. I'll go get some information. Go quickly and come back quickly. Knowing which country the other person is from, and the matchmaking game has the function of live broadcast and playback, it is not difficult to find out the information. Soon, some Yan people came back and informed Lin Dajai of the general situation. No wonder he had the confidence to challenge God Su. It turns out he got a special item. Chapter 35, Cursed Monkey Paw, can grant 3 wishes. And this time, the Yindi citizens who follow Lin Dajai were stunned when they saw this scene, and they also did not expect to meet other players in the random room. Su Lin, he is Su Lin from Yan country. Is that Su Lin, who has 2 beautiful partners and is in the limelight? Yes, that's him. I dare say that among all the players in the world, Su Lin has the best luck. He has basically never had a failure. Tisk, that's nothing, it's just luck. But no matter what, the Indian people are a little uneasy. This Su Lin looks like someone who is not easy to mess with. Moreover, Lin Dajai's attitude when they met was very bad. He looks so bossy that no one would be happy to see him. Besides, there is another more important factor. That is, the relationship between the 2 sides is as hostile as fire and water. Until now, the people of Yan hate them to the core. In the picture, Lin Dajai, who had someone to rely on, naturally did not take Su Lin seriously. Seeing that he ignored her and instead looked at her with a very indifferent look, Lin Dajai couldn't help but feel a little angry. Are you dumb? Lin Dajai screamed strangely, just like an angry monkey. Upon hearing this, the people of India felt something was wrong. Lin Dajai, just like his name, has great ambitions but little talent. No vision at all. Even if you have no idea of the other party's level, but looking at Su Lin's calm appearance, you should be able to guess that he must be confident. The barrage messages from the ink pad citizens. Lin Dajai naturally wouldn't see it. And then he continued to do as he pleased, going further and further down the road to death. This chick is pretty. Lin Dajai, who was slow to react, noticed Mirabelle next to Su Lin. He was a scum of society and had never seen such a beautiful woman in his life. She was like a fairy in a painting. With his low level of education, He couldn't find any adjectives to describe the other person's beauty. Su Lin only felt annoyed and bored by the shallowness and ignorance of this jumping clown. His eyes are as sharp as an eagle. It was like looking at a tiny ant, directly penetrating his disguise. Name Lin Dazhai. Subordinate, Yinny Kingdom. Possession, wishing monkey paw. State, drowsy, confused. Attitude, hostile. He is a shallow, ignorant, and corrupt person who wants to kill you and take over your partner. Let's look at the information of this holding. Name, wishing monkey paw. Type, special props. Grade, D+. Quality, rare. Features, wishing. The monkey's paw has 3 fingers and can fulfill 3 wishes of the user. Hidden hint, this is an ominous object with cursed power. Although it can fulfill your wish, it is a cake carefully made of poison which will lead you into the abyss. There is no such thing as a free lunch. Beware of new scams. The monkey's paw can be used twice more, and the wish cannot exceed the rank of the monkey's paw, otherwise the wish will be invalid. In other words, Lin Dazhai had used it once before. Therefore, according to the Golden Fingers prompt, his state at this time was a little dazed and confused. This is the backlash of the monkey's paw. Unexpectedly, the seal monkey took action first. Lin Dazhai quickly took out the monkey's paw wrapped in clothes. Only 2 monkey fingers were left on it. At one of the broken parts of the monkey's paw, there was some dried blood left. This was Lin Dazhai's first wish, to ask the monkey's paw to help him choose a room where he could get benefits. That's why he gave up entering the matchmaking room and instead entered the random room and found this pure yang grass field. Although the guidance is really effective, the prerequisite is that he has to survive to get it. Now Lin Dazhai made his second wish. Let the monkey claw kill the man in front of him. Once Su Lin dies, not only will the extremely high-quality pure yang grass field be his, even this beautiful woman will be monopolized by him. With a click, a finger on the monkey's paw broke off and turned into an arrow that was completely black and exuded an ominous aura. With murderous intent, he shot towards Su Lin quickly. The Yan people who witnessed this scene were outraged. As expected of a monkey from the ink pad, his quality is really low. This is not a question of quality, it's that he was born like this. I just checked his information, and Lin Dazhai is not a good person in the ink field. He can only be described as a piece of shit. The wishing monkey paw is a rare special item. God of wishing, be careful, don't let it capsize. The Indian people were also shocked by Lin Dazhai's sudden action. I never expected that he would be so decisive and kill people at the slightest disagreement. However, this concern disappeared when I thought about the fact that I would not be punished in the matchmaking game for killing players. They only saw that the monkey's paw could fulfill people's wishes, and this function was simply beyond belief, so it was not an exaggeration to describe it as a divine object. Without Su Lin's X-ray vision, he couldn't know the disadvantages of the wishing monkey's paw. He naively thought that Su Lin, a mere mortal, could not resist the divine object at all. The Indonesian people grinned grimly, cruelly thinking that if they killed Su Lin and snatched his partner, they would get a marriage reward from the matchmaking game. Ideas are full of hope, but reality is very cruel. In the live broadcast screen, the arrow transformed from the monkey's paw was blocked by the barrier formed by vegetation controlled by Su Lin. Then a wave slash successfully hit the target. The black arrow, seemingly full of murderous intent and power, only lasted for a few seconds before it shattered. How is that possible? Lin Dazhai couldn't believe it. Before he could be surprised, next second, the cursed aura after the black arrow was shattered quickly retreated and instantly penetrated into Lin Dazhai's body. His flesh and blood were drying up at a speed visible to the naked eye. The pain made him roll on the ground like a mad monkey. What's going on? All the audience were equally confused. You were clearly the attacking party, so why did the attack fail and you are the one who got into trouble? Could it be that Su Lin is wearing armor? Save me, save me. At the critical moment, Lin Dazhai was like grabbing a straw in a drowning cave. Even though the pain was unbearable, he never loosened his clenched monkey paw. He made his third and final wish, asking the monkey paw to save his life. The live camera gave Lin Dazhai a close-up. Under the gaze of all the spectators, the last finger on the monkey's paw broke. It turned into a ball of black gas and entered Lin Dazhai's body. The backlash of the black arrow was successfully stopped. The pain melted away like snow on a summer day. Lin Dazhai stood up, still with a confused look in his eyes. At the same time, he felt more comfortable than ever before, as if he had endless energy in his body and he couldn't help but want to vent. His red eyes were fixed on Su Lin not far away. For some reason, he just felt that this damn guy was particularly troublesome. If it weren't for Su Lin's obstruction, he would have obtained the spiritual field long ago and taken off. Damn bastard, I'm going to kill you. Why don't you just stick out your neck? Why are you resisting? How dare you? At this moment, Lin Dazhai completely lost his mind. Chapter 36. Mr. Su is kind-hearted and cannot bear to see others suffer. Look, something seems to be wrong with Lin Dazhai. Damn, he's got so much hair on his body. He really looks like a monkey. What's going on? Isn't the wishing monkey's paw supposed to fulfill people's wishes? Why does Lin Dazhai feel like he's shooting himself in the foot? I understand. The monkey's paw itself has defects. If it can really make wishes at will, it is too unreasonable. The matchmaking game naturally does not allow such a bug to appear. Otherwise, Lin Dazhai can just make a wish to become the strongest in the universe and defeat everything. Why bother playing the game? This speculation has been recognized by many people. Recalling Lin Dazhai's first wish, to enter the room with benefits. Although he found the Chunyang grass field, he met the extremely powerful Su Lin. The second wish was to have the monkey's paw kill Su Lin, but it was not fulfilled. Instead, Lin Dazhai himself suffered the backlash and almost lost his life. This proves that there is a certain threshold for the use of the monkey's paw. Beyond the limit, it will be ineffective and the wish will not come true. Otherwise, no matter how strong Su Lin is, he can be killed instantly. As for the third wish, to save the monkey paw's life and prevent the backlash. Although Lin Dazhai managed to save his life, he turned into an ugly half-human, half-monkey creature. In an equal exchange, if you gain something, you will give something. And even if the wish comes true, what you get may not necessarily be good, just like a poison pill wrapped in sugar. Just imagine this. If Lin Dazhai's first wish was to become the strongest in the universe, if you exceed the limit of the monkey's paw, your wish will never come true and you will get nothing. Moreover, the huge backlash brought by the monkey's claw is enough to kill him. Fools have good fortune. In a way, it was his short-sightedness that saved his life. But that's where it ends. Under the gaze of the audience, Lin Dazhai, who had transformed into a monkey, became increasingly powerful. Finally stayed at E+ level. For Su Lin, this level of situation is enough to kill him instantly. The wishing monkey's paw is a rare special item, but its rating is only D+. There is no ability to make the user's strength exceed the standard. This guy is so disgusting. Mirabelle looked at it with disgust, as if she were looking at a buzzing fly. The flower fairies are noble by nature and pursue purity and beauty. She felt an extremely disgusting aura coming from Lin Dazhai. She wanted to beat him to death, but she was afraid of getting her hands dirty. I'll take care of it, Su Lin said. Before Lin Dazhai could even start to move, his hands and feet were trapped by vines that were like chains. No matter how he struggled or screamed, it was of no avail. Indian citizens. What the hell? Didn't Lin Dazhai turn a disaster into a blessing and gain the power of the monkey's paw? That arrogant and ferocious appearance really scared many people. I thought it was going to be a big battle, but this is what you did. That's it. It's over before it even started. Oh no, looking at Su Lin's expression, he must be thinking of killing Lin Dazhai. A citizen of Yindi exclaimed. You should know that the system prompts clearly state that you will not be punished for killing any players you encounter. There isn't even the red name debuff seen in online games. Originally, they wanted Lin Dazhai to use the power of the monkey's claw to kill Su Lin and disgust the Yan Kingdom. Unexpectedly, the gap in power between the two sides was so huge that even the wish made with the sacred monkey paw was ineffective. The matchmaking game has only just begun for 3 days, and some of the other players don't even have a partner, and even survival has become a struggle. And how come you, Su Lin, have improved so terribly as if you were cheating? Are you guys really playing the same game? The Indian people were horrified. He even went to Yan Gu's live broadcast room to show his sympathy. My friends, this is all a misunderstanding. Lin Dazhai has been blinded by the monkey's paw. He is actually a pretty good person. There is no need to do such a drastic thing. Hurry up and tell Su Lin from your country to stop what he is doing. What does he want to do? Kill someone? Can the laws of your Yan country allow such behavior? The Indonesian people were extremely anxious and kept speaking out and urging them to do so. This really disgusts the people of Yan. The toad lies on your feet. It doesn't bite you, but it disgusts you. Redefine the word good guy, referring to Lin Dazhai cheating, committing crimes, but he is still a good guy. /Puche, I couldn't help laughing. JPG. What a misunderstanding. That bastard had bad intentions from the beginning. He even wanted to occupy the flower fairy. Why doesn't he take a piss and look in the mirror to see if this dead monkey is worthy of her? He has no idea at all. Hey, now that you know that murder is against the law, what were you doing before? Don't forget, we still have a blood feud to avenge you. I am dying of laughter. I guess the ink people are all monkeys with abnormal development. The matchmaking game has been going on for 3 days, and everyone in the world knows that the audience cannot interact with the players. But the monkey with hydrocephalus didn't even notice this obvious thing. And I tell you, even if we can communicate with God, Sue, we agree with both hands and feet. You Yan people are not human, you are devils. IP Yinny. Do you want to make enemies with us? Can you afford the price? IP Yinny. Having been mocked by the people of Yan, the Indonesians have now completely shed their hypocritical faces and started to make threats. How dare you be so arrogant when you were born in Yinny? Then hurry up and do it. I am waiting for you. It's so funny. Do you really think we are afraid of you monkeys? I'm worried that I can't find a reason to deal with you. There are many turtles in shallow water. All kinds of people dare to challenge us. If you have the time, you might as well go home and lick the skin of your American father. The two sides were on the verge of a fight and were arguing with each other. And in the random room space, Su Lin did not stop his actions because of this. In Su Lin's opinion, Lin Dazhai, who had lost his mind, was obviously seriously ill. Since it is a disease, it must be treated. So, Su Lin controlled the vines and pulled off his limbs, so there was no need to worry about him scratching and hurting himself. This scene instantly quieted the noisy audience. It seems he won't live much longer. Mirabelle rubbed her chin and thought. When the audience heard this, the corners of their mouths couldn't help but twitch. I thought to myself, isn't this nonsense? The amount of bleeding is so alarming that if Lin Dazhai is not treated in time, he will definitely die. Do I expect you to save him? It's true, Su Lin really intended to save him. After all, he is an ambitious young man who has received a good education. How could I bear to see the poor little monkey die in front of my eyes? It's not a big problem. Su Lin waved his hand, controlling the surrounding vegetation, extracting the essence of energy, and slowly injecting it into Lin Dazhai's body along the vines that bound him. It's a rare opportunity to meet a player, especially a close friend. How can I not build a good relationship with him? Chapter 37. Look, he has to thank us. As Mirabelle said, he won't live long. This does not mean that Lin Dazhai, who has transformed into a worm form, will die from a minor injury such as bleeding. The reason is that although the monkey's paw saved his life, the deep curse power contained in it did not disappear. Deep into the bone marrow, even if Lin Dazhai escapes, the curse that is enough to destroy his sanity will urge him to do all kinds of self-destructive things. In this vast sea of people meeting his fate, how could Su Lin, a kind-hearted man, turn a blind eye to this? He used his abilities to extract plant essences and heal Lin Dazhai's wounds. The language of flowers seems to counteract the power of this curse. Gradually, Lin Dazhai's eyes regained some clarity, and he was no longer as confused as before. The audience in the live broadcast room were all stunned when they saw this scene. Could it be that Su Lin was really saving him? Indonesians breathed a sigh of relief. Haha, I said this guy didn't have the guts to kill anyone, not to mention it was broadcast live around the world. In front of everyone, he wouldn't dare to offend the public. I guess Su Lin is scared too. You are such a coward with no guts. No wonder no one respects you. I heard that the Yan people all have a sense of family and country. I guess they were afraid of killing Lin Dazhai, worried that Yan would become enemies with us, and afraid of our revenge, so they made up for it afterwards. Such remarks spread throughout India. The human heart is unpredictable, and human nature is even more complex. When they saw Lin Dazhai was about to die, they were afraid of the punishment of the marriage game and bent down to beg for mercy. When faced with rejection, they become angry and start swearing. But when he saw Su Lin's indecisive gesture of goodwill, the fear in his heart disappeared, and he even despised this behavior. If it were our ink, we wouldn't care how high or deep you are. We would just kill you first. The Yan people were irritated by these remarks and felt as sick as if they had eaten a fly. If you hesitate to make a decision, you will suffer the consequences. God, Su, why did you save such a scum? Why don't you kill him and keep him alive for the new year? This reminds me of the stories of the farmer and the snake, Mr. Dongguo and the wolf, and Hao Jian and the old lady. Everyone don't get too excited. After all, God Su has just entered the matchmaking game and his mindset hasn't changed yet. You're asking an ordinary, law-abiding person in society to suddenly become a butcher and kill people. That would be too difficult for him. Yes, thinking back on Su Lin's real-life experience, it can only be described as mediocre. I didn't have any spectacular experiences. I went to school, grew up, and worked step by step. I stayed true to myself and never had any bad habits. Similar to the common people in Yan country, many people have conflicts and quarrels online, and they always say that they will confront you offline. In reality, this is just talk. Although they can understand this, the Yan people always feel unhappy when they see it. Especially, I heard the monkeys shouting, "Zio Yanzi, don't be so extreme. Don't you Yan people always say to leave a way out for others so that we can meet again in the future? Haha, when Lin Dazhai recovers, he will meet Su Lin sooner or later. Maybe he will repay him well. What you think of as God is actually a useless piece of iron waste. Look how scared he is." The people of Yan were so angry that they gnashed their teeth, but they could do nothing about it. But when I thought about how Lin Dazhai had lost his limbs, and it was difficult for him to survive in the marriage game, I thought he must have ceased to be a threat. Not killing him and sparing his life should be due to the kindness in Su Shen's heart, right? That's all they could think. At this time, Su Lin is a kind-hearted and generous person, trying hard to save Lin Dazhai's life. After consuming a lot of natural essence, he finally offset the curse power in Lin Dazhai's body. "Are you saving me?" Lin Dazhai, whose mind had returned to normal, said in disbelief. "Thank you, thank you." He never dreamed that the man in front of him would repay evil with kindness, not only forgiving the offense, but also saving his life. Su Lin was stunned when he heard this. He gave Lin Dazhai a strange look. Then he turned back to Mirabelle and said, "Look, he has to thank us." What does this mean? Shouldn't I say thank you?" Lin Dazhai was totally confused. Although the operation process is a bit strange, there is no need to cut off my limbs, right? But Lin Dazhai didn't understand this. Perhaps only this method could offset the curse of the monkey's paw. It is similar to the bloodletting therapy that was once popular in advanced Western countries. "Don't move, be quiet, I'll transform you in no time," Su Lin said casually, causing Lin Dazhai to nod frequently like a chick pecking at rice. In his opinion, Su Lin was full of divine light all over his body. He was an absolutely good man and a living bodhisattva. The reason why good people don't live long is that they are too easy to bully. Lin Dazhai couldn't help but secretly glance at Mirabelle and licked his lips greedily, but he was still full of evil intentions. He is a strange creature with his brain in his calves, adhering to the idea that it is better to live a miserable life than to die. He licked his face and asked, "Brother, can you help me connect my arms and legs?" Su Lin asked doubtfully. "Why do you want that thing? I don't think it's any use to you." Lin Dazhai, "How come it is useless? I have no arms or legs, and you want me to use my muscles to walk." Lin Dazhai thought Su Lin was still blaming him for his previous behavior. He immediately apologized. Su Lin suddenly felt it was noisy. Bang! With a casual slap, several of his teeth were knocked out and half of his face was swollen. "Didn't I just tell you to be quiet? You don't understand what I'm saying, right?" Su Lin tore off one of his ears and threw it into his broken mouth to stop him from speaking. This action completely frightened Lin Dazhai. It also stunned countless viewers who were watching the live broadcast. "I don't understand what Su Lin is doing. Are you going to save him or kill him? Can you please give me a definite answer?" Without Lin Dazhai's constant interference, Su Lin's transformation plan was a complete success. At this time, Lin Dazhai had almost merged with the vegetation. The roots grow in the soil, and the whole person stands before your eyes like a potted plant. Your flower language skills are improving quite fast. The dark and domineering lady, Mirabelle, commented on it as if she was appreciating a work of art, with an expression that said, "You are worthy of being my man, you are so awesome. It's just a coincidence that I met him, so I practiced with him." Su Lin wiped the sweat from his forehead. Hard work pays off. During his careful transformation of Lin Dazhai, his flower language technique was upgraded to level 2. From the very beginning, Su Lin had no intention of letting Lin Dazhai go. How to repay kindness when you repay evil with kindness. Forgiving you is God's job, and I am only responsible for sending you to see God. According to the tips of Goldfinger, although Lin Dazhai's attitude towards Su Lin has changed, it is not much better. Name Lin Dazhai. Subordinate, Yini Kingdom. Grade E+. Status, humanoid plant, very easy to keep alive. Attitude, hostility. He is looking for an opportunity to escape, and when his strength increases in the future, he will come back to take revenge on you. Since you are no longer a human being, I will just follow your wishes and not treat you as a human being. On some level, is this a two-way journey? The reason behind Chapter 38 is heartwarming, and the Indian people are deeply moved. Today, Lin Dazhai has been completely transformed into a humanoid plant. Su Lin was very satisfied with this work. It can be said that he put in a lot of effort. Otherwise, he would not have been able to upgrade the blue quality flower language technique to level 2. Just leave him here to die. Mirabelle seemed to be thinking. Under the transformation of flower language, Lin Dazhai has completely merged with the plants. If nothing unexpected happens, he can maintain this state for decades. It's a pity that after leaving the random room, I may never come back here again. I still have many ideas I want to try on him. Mirabelle has an extraordinary temperament, like a fairy, and her voice is as clear and beautiful as the sound of nature. But when Lin Dazhai heard these words, he shuddered and couldn't help shaking his head, with deep fear in his eyes. Although the Flower Fairy clan's natural positioning is auxiliary, they are by no means naive, nor do they follow the melodramatic Mary Sue script. Otherwise, they would have been eliminated in the competitive and extremely cruel natural environment long ago. I will never show mercy to my enemies. Even the innate derivative skill seed of life, which can extract biological energy and transform it into plant nutrients, was created through continuous summary and creation by the ancestors of the Flower Fairy clan throughout history. As for what method, what is the process, the reason behind it is heartwarming. Countless viewers in the live broadcast room were all sweating and shuddering. After witnessing Su Lin's reform plan, he was terrified by such means. If a flower fairy who is more proficient in this art were to replace him, wouldn't Lin Dazhai be tortured even more miserably? It is true that if you are not from the same family, you will not enter the same door. No matter how stupid Lin Dazhai was, he finally came to his senses at this moment. This seemingly harmless man in front of me is not a living bodhisattva who saves people from suffering. In Lin Dazhai's opinion, Su Lin is a devil in human skin. It was obvious that he had the ability to kill me instantly from the beginning, but he was not in a hurry to do it. Instead, he played around slowly, treating it as a game for fun. It was like a child catching an insect in the field, tearing off its wings and limbs, and laughing as it lay rolling on the ground. Pain, who cares if a bug is in pain or not? When adults see their children scalding an ant nest with boiling water, they will just smile and walk away. Who would care about the life and death of lowly ants? Cruelty, humans only empathize when they see the plight of their own kind or lovable animals. If you encounter annoying mosquitoes, you would hope that as many of these insects die as possible. Notice Su Lin's indifferent expression. Such an absurd idea suddenly came into Lin Dazhai's mind. Maybe, in the eyes of this powerful man, I am just a tiny insect, as disgusting as maggots, flies, and mosquitoes. But she kept provoking him without knowing her own limitations, which made him angry. Thinking back to his behavior when they first met, Lin Dazhai wanted to slap himself. Why are you so rude? Regarding this scene, although it looks a bit worrying, the people of Yan did not react much. They could only say that Lin Dazhai brought this upon himself and that he deserved it. When I think of the arrogant attitude of the Indian people, I feel happy no matter how I look at it. There were also a few onlookers who switched to the Indonesian live broadcast room to see the monkeys' reactions. As expected, the people of India condemned Su Lin's cruelty and cursed him. At the same time, I was also extremely worried about Lin Dazhai's situation. Look at Su Lin, he clearly treats Lin Dazhai as a stranger. Is this the Yan people who always claim to love peace? Finally, their ugly face is exposed. Don't panic as long as Lin Dazhai is alive. Punishment will not come, there is still hope. I hope so. Even if Su Lin doesn't kill him, Lin Dazhai will still be eliminated after waiting for the novice period to end in a few hours. It's better to eliminate him. Lin Dazhai isn't a smart guy anyway. This will save this loser from getting into trouble in the future. One of the rules of the matchmaking game. During the 3-day novice protection period, any player who fails to find a partner will be considered eliminated. No one can tell what the punishment for eliminated players is. The best-case scenario is to send the player back to the real world, and both parties are happy. Perhaps the player will be punished individually, or in serious cases, he will be killed on the spot. If the honor and disgrace of the collective has nothing to do with the individual, then what does the individual's predicament have to do with the collective? As long as the knife doesn't hit our Indian people, who cares whether you, Lin Dazhai, live or die? What's more, there are so many players around the world who choose to give up, the most typical example being Yusugi Natsumi from the country of Sakura. It's not just us Yini players who are inactive. Follow the crowd and you won't get beaten. There are many people who hold such a lucky idea. In the setting of the matchmaking game, some facilities can be transformed into cards for easy carrying and placement. This pure yang grass field type belongs to spiritual plants, but it is classified into a large facility fence and can be stored into cards, saving Su Lin the trouble of going back and forth. What about him? Before leaving, Mirabelle asked again, just leave it here. Do you want to take it home and raise it? Su Lin replied. Forget it. Looking back at Lin Dazhai's monkey-like appearance, even after being transformed into a plant, he was still so disgusting. Mirabelle waved her hands. I have very high standards. Even when I grow flowers and trees, I always choose the best quality ones. It's too ugly. There was uncontrollable disdain in his tone. It's a good thing I didn't bring my sister Ellie with me. I wonder what her expression would be if she saw her husband's masterpiece. She smiled mischievously. As expected of Mirabelle, she is a queen. She is really sinister. After saying, she pointed at Lin Dazhai and made a gesture of wiping her neck to Su Lin. It means, you've had enough fun anyway, so why not kill you and save yourself the trouble of having more nightmares at night? The Yan people naturally understood this simple gesture after seeing it. This is the dark big sister Flower Fairy, so cool and sassy, I love it. Loving everything will only harm you. Do you also want to be made into a specimen/funny doghead, JPG? If it's the Flower Fairy, I'm willing. Amazing, masochistic, huh? What a shrimp-headed turtle man. No, don't any of you have any sympathy for the player Yinny? Although he offended Su Lin, I don't think he deserves death. Just give him a proper punishment and a lesson. Is it worth it to use such cruel means to show the magnanimity of our great Yan? You are a bunch of heartless people with no sympathy. You are just following suit to watch the fun. In my opinion, every one of you is Su Lin's accomplice. The Holy Mother is coming. Are you writing a little essay? Aren't your fingers tired? You keep banging like a machine gun. Why didn't you make a sound when Lin Dazhai wanted to kill Su Lin just now? You are here pretending to be a white lotus. To put it bluntly, you are just deliberately singing a different tune to attract attention and make others think you are kind and gentle. You just want to build a memorial archway for yourself and sell it for a good price. It's okay to call her a virgin, but she also has a watch on her back. What a hopeless idiot. Since you sympathize with Lin Dazhai, why don't you just go to Yinny and apologize and see how those monkeys in Yinny deal with you? After a few words, the saintly expression on her face suddenly died down, and she dared not say anything more. Chapter 39, Buy One Get Three Free. I am so touched. Su Lin likes a saying from a certain success guru. I will make anyone who offends me suffer a fate worse than death. Then anyone who accidentally offends me will probably be so scared that they can't sleep. Looking at Lin Dazhai again, his eyes were blank, and his face looked stupid. He looked like a pitiful person who had been played with. He pretended very well, but he couldn't hide it from Su Lin. He just wanted to reduce his presence as much as possible, and hoped that Su Lin would leave quickly so that he could save his life. Let's go. As he wished, Su Lin waved to Mirabelle. When passing by Lin Dazhai, the latter's heart beat violently and his whole body trembled uncontrollably. Unexpectedly, Su Lin patted his shoulder. A ray of light was injected into his body. I don't know if it's an illusion. Lin Dazhai was in a trance, with a strange feeling of being refreshed. Before he could even open his mouth to beg for mercy, Su Lin took Mirabelle and left without looking back. It left him completely confused. Even the countless viewers in the live broadcast room were a little confused. Indonesians were equally surprised. What's going on here? Su Lin just let him go like that? I thought he was going to kill Lin Dazhai just now. They neither want to kill him nor let him go. It's obvious that they want to trap Lin Dazhai in the random room and wait for him to die. Their intentions are nothing short of vicious. It doesn't matter. There are still 3 or 4 hours until midnight. Just wait for Lin Dazhai to be eliminated. I hope this damn game doesn't bring punishment to our ink pad. Facts have proved that people cannot always rely on luck. After confirming that Su Lin had really left, Lin Dazhai just breathed a sigh of relief. I was just thinking about how to escape and leave this unlucky random room. Suddenly I felt itchy all over, as if ants were crawling on me. No, that's not right. Take out the word feeling. Now there really are countless ants crawling all over my body. In addition, there were many insects, mice, snakes in the valley. All of them came out at once. The same goal, it's Lin Dazhai. It seemed that in the eyes of snakes, insects, rats, and ants, he himself was like a fragrant, sweet, and delicious cake. They were deeply attracted to it, and climbed onto Lin Dazhai's body, risking their lives, biting and gnawing at him. It was so densely packed that Lin Dazhai was almost completely drowned, and people with trypophobia were almost having a seizure. Lin Dazhai's scalp tingled. He wanted to drive away the snakes, insects, rats, and ants, but he couldn't move, even though he is currently at E+ level and has psychic powers. But Su Lin's transformation of him was very successful and thorough. Like ordinary trees, they become living targets and watch their remaining bodies being eaten until they die. The misery, the torture, the pain. The Indian people, who have always been treated as inferiors, are terrified at the sight of it. It was Su Lin. He patted Lin Dazhai twice before leaving. He did something. Asshole, killing someone is just a nod of the head. What hatred or grudge do you have? Why treat him like this? Well, it seems that we have a deep hatred with Dayan. Compared with what we did before, this is nothing. Shut up, you Indian traitor. You actually spoke in favor of Yan country. How much benefit have you received from them? I swear to God, I have never accepted any benefits. I am just telling the truth. The truth is, damn it. Can you admit it? Can you admit such a thing? Due to the death of the player Lin Dazhai from Yini country, the civilization of that country will be subject to targeted punishment in 10 minutes. I hope everyone will take this as a warning. The moment the global broadcast sounded, a layer of haze seemed to spread over India. Originally, some people in India who saw the situation was not good were still thinking of seizing the opportunity to build connections and escape from India to seek refuge in other countries. Those who have such thoughts must be powerful and wealthy people in Yini's country. Although mainstream countries around the world have restricted the entry of foreigners, they only restrict ordinary people. For those who have power, it is nothing more than spending a little more money, finding some connections, and making a phone call to ask about someone's well-being. And those countries also welcome the arrival of these local rich people. After all, no one can resist money. For the country, interests are more important. However, that good-for-nothing Lin Dazhai was bitten to death by snakes, insects, rats, and ants so quickly. 10 minutes. Damn 10 minutes. No matter how great your skills are, they cannot escape the ink. The coming storm made these monkeys lose their usual smiles. Instead, there is tension and anxiety. A sense of panic began to spread among the people, like an unpredictable disease, making people shudder. How they wish time could go slower and seconds could stop. But this is ultimately just an unrealistic wish. 10 minutes passed in a flash. In view of the death of the player Lin Dazhai from the Indian country, targeted punishment is now being imposed on the civilization of that country. The punishment is Monkey's Paw Curse. 1. The overall national intelligence of the seal is 1. 2. The physical fitness of all citizens in the seal is 1. 3. 1/10 of the citizens of Yindi are randomly selected and transformed into monkeys. The moment the global broadcast appeared, the whole world was shocked. Is this 1 punishment or 3 punishments? Buy 1 get 3 free. And this discount? The first 2 punishments were quite acceptable. It's just that the brain is a little dumber and the body is a little weaker. But this third one is too scary. You know, there are 270 million people using ink. That means 27 million Indians will be transformed into monkeys. The punishment efficiency of the marriage game is very fast. Once the announcement is made, you won't be given any time to react, and the punishment will come immediately. In the country, streets and lanes, houses and buildings. Regardless of your identity, status, or the gap between rich and poor, as long as you are a seal carver, you may become a monkey. Even their IQ has degenerated to that of monkeys, causing quite a bit of unrest. Squeak, squeak, tilde. They howled and roared in strange ways, and their personalities and behaviors were just like the monkeys in Mount Amay. They did evil things, scratched passers-by, smashed and robbed and destroyed things everywhere. Captain, what should we do? Several Indonesian ministers broke into the office. I originally wanted to let the leader take charge of the situation and discuss a solution. Unexpectedly, as soon as the door was opened, a monkey jumped towards him and scratched the aide's face. Ah tilde, squeak tilde. The monkey was extremely ferocious and would bite anyone it saw, leaving several aides with bloody faces and bodies in a mess. They stared at the monkey in disbelief and wanted to beat it up, but they were concerned about their identities and did not dare to do it. Broken. Master Kyushu has also turned into a monkey. Compared to the mess of ink, life in Yan country is still peaceful. Justice is clear, and revenge will be exacted. There is nothing more joyful than seeing your enemies in trouble. Besides, someone discovered a problem. If I remember correctly, Lin Dazhai was killed by Su Lin in disguise. Why is the targeted punishment of Yindi civilization in the matchmaking game related to the cursed monkey's paw? So, P.S. Thank you all for your votes, and the rewards from Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter. There will be another chapter later, and it will be very late, so don't wait any longer and go to bed early. Chapter 40, End of the Novice Period, Adjustment of the Matchmaking Game. On the Yan Country Forum, user Tiania commented on this matter again. The reason is very simple, because Lin Dazhai's death has always been related to the monkey's paw curse. The punishment from the Indi Kingdom this time is 3, and the wishing monkey paw can also grant 3 wishes. Since the punishment of the marriage game on national civilization is targeted, this means that Lin Dazhai did not die at the hands of God Su. From the beginning to the end, the effect of the monkey's paw curse was still there, and he never got rid of it. A word can wake a dreamer up. If you compare carefully, you will find that the 3 punishments of Yini Kingdom's monkey's paw curse can all match the special item wishing monkey's paw in the game. First wish, let the monkey's paw help guide you to enter a random room with benefits. Backlash, Lin Dazhai is in a trance. Curse, Yini's national intelligence is reduced by 1. The second wish, to kill Su Lin but failed. Backlash, Lin Dazhai was nearly killed by the backlash. Curse, Yini's national physique 1. The third wish, to let Monkey Paw save Lin Dazhai's life. Backlash, Lin Dazhai turned into a monkey. Curse, 1/10 of the population of Yini turned into monkeys. They all match up. This wishing monkey's paw is not a divine object at all, but a cursed object filled with an ominous aura. Tiania, it is estimated that even if Lin Dazhai did not meet Su Shen, he would have encountered other crises. It is only a matter of time before you are cursed and die. From the moment he picked up the monkey's paw and made his first wish, death was inevitable. Even gods can't save you. 666. You are indeed a knowledgeable forum expert. Every analysis I make gives me a feeling of enlightenment. The word Dongji is not good, it sounds a bit weird. Tiania Ju is at least Dong Dai level. Kai of Understanding 3 stages, / cat head smiling face. Do you dare to dismount and fight the emperor ahead? Look at me, I know how to turn my chi into a horse / smirk. The meme is over. Through this incident, people have more or less seen the evil nature of the matchmaking game and sinister intentions. Wishing monkey paw, whether it is for players or spectators. The properties and functions displayed only allow the user to fulfill 3 wishes. No further explanation. Just like the treasure chest monster that Su Shen encountered before, the system instructions are all deceptive. It's clearly a trap tempting you to jump in. The temptation of having a wish come true is something that anyone can't resist. He who tries to gain little will suffer great loss. There are traps everywhere in the matter of getting something for nothing. The people of Yan can only hope that God Su will be more careful, take this as a warning, and not pick up any strange props. Not long after the disaster that befell the Yini Kingdom, Yan Ting also received condemnation from Yini. Something like asking Yan State to respond positively to the Su Lin incident, apologize and compensate Yin Nai, and that kind of bullshit. In response, several Fire Lords just smiled. Are you here to beg for money? Your country's Lin Dazhai was the one who made the mistake first. We should be thankful that we didn't cause you any trouble. How dare you blame us? You don't even care about your face anymore. Attitude towards Yan country. In order to stabilize people's hearts, the spokesperson of Yini declared, today's ink pad is no longer the same as before. If Yan country doesn't know what's good for you, don't blame us for imposing sanctions on you. Several Fire Lords were amused by this remark. Do you, the Yini country, have the ability to stop time? So it seems that only you, India, are developing independently while other countries are standing still, right? Saying this is like farting. Your own leader has turned into a monkey, yet you still have the audacity to speak so shamelessly. Aren't you afraid that the wind will cut off your tongue? The 3 Flame Lords who had the most bad temper responded directly. If you want to fight, then fight. I'm just worried that I can't find a reason to fight you. With just 1 sentence, the other party was stopped and given up. What the hell are you doing? The 27 million monkeys in the country are causing us a lot of trouble. Even if he hadn't been punished in the marriage game, Yini would never have dared to start a war. I was just talking nonsense at the time. Don't take it seriously. The farce ended here, which was quite anticlimactic. Game world. Su Lin had already brought Mirabelle back home. He was hugging little Ellie and briefly telling her about the experience of the random room. That little monkey is really bad. If I were you, I would never let him go so easily. Ellie clenched her fists and stood up for her good husband, Su Lin. Okay, it's all in the past. Don't think about these unpleasant things. Su Lin waved his hand generously with a masterly demeanor. Compared to this, I'm more curious about what we're going to have for dinner. Speaking of this, Ellie immediately perked up. There are roasted venison, stir-fried vegetables, and cold melon strips. I also prepared deer blood wine for you. There are also deer penis and deer treasures, all for you to eat. Her eyes sparkled cunningly, as if she was planning some mischief. Su Lin, the little bunny has good intentions. Are you worried that your husband can't handle it? I'm afraid you can't bear it. Don't forget, there is also the pure yang grass. The corners of Mirabelle's mouth slightly raised, outlining a charming yet playful smile, adding a hint of playfulness to her beauty. There is such a good thing. I have never heard of it before. After learning about the effects of the pure yang grass,